Good evening, and welcome to Oxford's Ashes, a modern-day Vampire the Masquerade chronicle set in the British city of Oxford. Already awakened for the night is Rami of Clan Hakata, played by Space. Hatfield of Clan Bruja, played by Dave Breakathon. Acheron of Clan Zamitsi, played by Riverus Ray. And our special guest this week, Fenice Starlight, playing a kindred who will be revealed at a dramatically appropriate time. We begin where we left off last week before, but time is a piece of shit soup. Coven take their leave of the kind woman, Catherine, having provided them with enough information to digest and follow up on. As the Coven walk back to Acheron's car, they fail to notice that Ebony has disappeared until it is too late. And they enter into the car where they find that Slip has also disappeared. In the car, though, in Slip's stead, is a new face. An unknown face. A face that is ignoring the look of venom being shot from Hatfield's eyes straight at them. Each member of the coterie takes a seat in Acheron's car. Acheron checks the newcomer using the rear view mirror before turning to face the unknown figure sat in Slip's place. What would you like to do?
Well, hello.
Hello.
We can start with a name. I'm
Ardala.
Acheron.
Nice to meet you.
Ardala. Beautiful name. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Right, that's Rummy. Hatfield. You know, I am a little disturbed that you've just popped up in my vehicle, but
Weirder things have happened.
It's true. It's been a night. Who are you and why are you here? I've got your name. But other than that, who are you? Why are you here?
I am here to keep an eye on you guys. I was asked for a favor.
Just the eye roll from Hatfield.
Of treating your friend Slip as our revered guest.
I see.
Oh, that can
As
only
I'm
mean
looking-
good things.
Yeah. As I'm looking at, it's Ardella? Is that how you say her name?
Ardala.
Ardella. Okay, I want to make sure I say it right.
Fun fact, I based it off a character from Buck Rogers in the 25th century.
Amazing. As I'm looking at Ardella, is there any telltale signs that I'm looking at a kindred or a mortal, or you know what I'm saying? Like,
she's kindred.
do I see breathing?
You don't even. There's no
She's
roll
kindred.
check for this. She's obviously kindred.
Okay,
She's not
okay.
deathly. She's pale. She's not going to hide it.
Wonderful.
She's amongst her own kind,
amazing.
I imagine, and makes more of an impression.
Yeah, no, for sure. Right, now, revered guest. Of whom, apparently you're treating Slip. He's very dear to us. Who do you
Indeed.
answer to?
I am a revered member of the Banu Hakim here in the city.
We were gonna come see you, Lord,
Mhm.
after we wrapped up some things. But since you're already here, great. We've dealt with that place that we were told to deal with, and we're out to discover a little more information, and hopefully you can help us along the way. You can tell, like, as Acheron is saying all these things, there is this look in his eye of, like, I don't trust that you're saying who you are is who you're saying you are. Like, just absolutely like, okay.
Oh yeah, Hatfield is
but-
alternating between the incredulous glances at the new person and the worried glances at the house that Ebony has yet to emerge from.
Right, I should let you know, Hatfield, Ebony scampered off somewhere. Don't know where. She didn't bother to say anything. We'll deal with that. We're losing Moonlight.
Okay,
You're gonna
that's
have to get
fine.
it
That's fine.
going.
Everything's fine.
I'm sure she'll reach out and let us know where she's at when she's ready. But no need to cry over spilled milk, as we've got work to do. I'm going to set to driving, now that we at least know a name for this person in the car. And hopefully truths are being spoken, that like Slip is being taken care of. But
would you like to do an insight check?
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's see. I do have insight. Yes, I forgot I made this character to do that. Okay, yes, I have insight down. So let's do some insight about it.
Akron, what's an insight?
Amazing, wonderful.
Abdallah.
Now the question is, do I rouse the blood?
Mm-hmm.
I'll rouse the blood.
Composure. Composure awareness.
Alright, here we go. All them dice just to get a motherfucking 3. You know what? I will spend the willpower to re-roll 2 of those dice because I'm about to be locked up in this car with us.
Succeed, though.
Okay, alright, we're looking at a 4.
Sticking with it, Ardala?
Yeah.
She's telling the truth. As far as you can tell, she's not hiding anything. She seems genuinely honest as she's telling you these things. Sip is an honoured guest. Not a prisoner. She doesn't seem to be threatening you. Everything is factual.
The only threatening thing about me right now is that I have a clipboard on which I am writing now and then.
Oh,
knowing that detail. Hatfield is twitchy.
I thought you would hate that.
It's very funny because
Amazing.
whenever like Rami's in the car, she's writing in her notebooks and her journals. Like that's what she's doing the entire time, like writing what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And so like seeing you writing, she's like, I'm gonna write. Trying to like look over to see what you're writing.
Trying to like, yeah. Okay, yeah, no. So Akron is going to be driving to their destination, but every once in a while does kind of like look in the rearview mirror, not only at Ardella, but there's like a moment of looking at Hatfield. And if Akron could communicate anything telepathically to Hatfield, it would be like, keep it in check. Like very much like, Ebony's not fucking here. Our physically strong people are not here. If you lose your shit, I cannot help anyone.
Yeah, no.
You know?
While Hatfield is in no way telepathic to receive that message, I think by just the posture, the set of the shoulders, the way the face is full on expressionless guard mode, but the slight twitch in the eye, Hatfield is aware of the mission right now. We are keeping it together. This is fine.
Except you're not, though, Hatfield.
Amazing. Love it.
Because
oh,
as
no.
this car is
Okay.
driving slowly through the night, this new stranger in the car with you, all you can think, where is Ebony? And then that voice cracks through your skull once more. Good little pet, Hatfield. Going off without Ebony, no longer caring, you've made real progress. Abandoning your master. You're making me so proud.
Just like barely more than a whisper, but just shut up. This is fine. You can tell me what to do.
No, you keep talking to yourself in the middle of the car. That's gonna look great.
I do have a question for UST. So, Akron has a phone.
Mm-hmm.
Does Hatfield have a phone? Because Hatfield often likes to like not wear their earpiece. But I am curious if like Ebony has allowed Hatfield to have a phone.
Hatfield does have a phone, but it
Yeah.
has been gutted and has absolutely nothing on it but Ebony's number, and like it can play Snake. Like that's it.
Okay. Cool. Good to know for future
I
things.
believe in our universe it's
cool.
called Serpent.
Yes.
Yes.
Can play the squiggly game.
So like as we're driving, what does Ardella look like?
Ardala is a fairly, I mean, even just sitting down, you can tell that she is definitely on the taller side. She is pretty muscular, and there is this air of rigidity about her. She's extremely poised and composed. And even though maybe not the most, I don't know, ethereal beauty within the vampire, the kindreds, there's something very chilling about how rigid she presents.
So compelling.
Still in the
So
way
even
no
like in
living
her
thing can be.
Clothing, she's
Even her-
wearing literally like a business suit, all black.
Got it. Okay, so very much like a stoic type. Okay. Okay. Acheron is taking all that in, like as they're driving, every once in a while, just glancing back. I think with the knowledge that Acheron has of the Banu Hakim, and just like sort of the roles that he is aware of that the Banu Hakim have, is like, okay, we most definitely have to be on our best behavior because shit can go sideways so fast with the Banu Hakim, and like we cannot be fucking around or one of my coterie is actually gonna die. So yeah, so I think that like Acheron, as they're driving, slowly adopts a more rigid is never a word I would use for Acheron, but definitely just like a more business like demeanor, and less snake like, which they often have that kind of almost serpentine, even like in their body movements is very much like that, but in the presence of this is like, okay, adjusting to the environment change here. Yeah, until we get to our place, unless Ardella has anything that they want.
Well, that was going to be my question. Where are you heading?
So originally we had the intention of going to Elysium to speak to Pandora, or more accurately, to have Slip speak to Pandora, but because he's not with us right now, he is being treated, apparently.
Yeah, I assumed we were gonna go to Viper's Den to meet Thomas.
So I think that the trajectory is to, at the very least, because I know last we left off we didn't have too much night left. The thought was that, okay, let's at least like scope the area out and see like what's happening at the Viper's Den before we make any,
Wits drive for me, please, Acheron.
Fuck, why would you do this to me? I'm not driving recklessly. Okay, no, it's fine. It's fine. If we die in a car accident, blame the SD, because
This is an automatic success task. This isn't a fail or succeed roll. This is a consequence roll.
Lord. Okay, what do you want me to drive and what?
Wits and drive, please.
Wits and drive. I have to rouse the blood. Okay.
I mean, you don't have to. Because I mean, it's not a fail thing. It's a consequence thing. It's not a fail.
Yes, I would like a few more dice, which is why I'm rousing.
Okay, you put a lot of faith that this table's going to reward high numbers.
It is what it is, bro. We're out here with a whole one, a whole entire one.
At least there's one.
You're driving
have been worse
through the city.
Yeah.
You're sticking to the speed limit. You're not really doing anything wild or crazy, but it is late at night. And this car behind you has been following you. It's kept its distance, but It's followed you for a little while, about 5 or 10 minutes. And then blue lights flash in your rear view mirror behind you. You do have a reroll available from Zephyr if you so wish.
Do I listen to Goblin Brain or do I? Of all the times for Slip to not be here. Okay.
Benice's
cool.
face
It's
right now,
wonderful.
she's just like, I am ready to judge you.
I'm like,
You know,
my
and
clipboard
it's
and my
Ready with
pen.
anxiety.
okay. I think like just before the lights come on, right? When I first start to notice that this car is behind us, I say, there is a car following us. There are options here. I can speed ahead. I can brake check them. Or I can take on the appearance of someone else that perhaps will aid us in whatever nonsense the individual behind us might need to. What
Just
would you lot like to do?
just a clarification for the from the ST. You said blue lights. Is this the police?
Yeah, most likely.
I glance back. Is there any way we can like see who's
Yeah, I was
there?
gonna
If it's
ask.
the Rami's contact guy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Rami's contact is detective. Detectives don't get panda cars. They're not called panda cars. I'm fucking
Yeah.
old. Get over it.
They're,
Okay, well, knowing that, never
usually
mind.
Detectives are in their own cars. They're rather than,
Yeah,
the
detectives don't pull cars
official
over.
ones. Yeah.
We've used the term cop with them interchangeably. That's why I was asking.
Yeah. Okay. So the blue
Please.
lights come on after I say this, and I'm like,
Do not turn into anybody because I know what you're thinking, and I'm going to immediately. No, just talk to them.
all right. And I will pull over to address.
Sorry, I just want you all to know.
The police
Slip
officer.
has sent me the most amazing Nosferatu meme. That is a pie chart of the reasons he's not helping. And he sent me this picture and said, number 2. I read it, and it says, just give the cop your mask ID. It's a traffic stop, not a raid.
Please send me this meme.
We love you, but we miss you, Slip. Okay. So I pull over the fucking car. Nice.
You don't have a
and,
mask ID, just so you
by
know.
the
You
law.
can't just produce
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
I can't do that. But yeah, so I will pull over the car.
Yep.
Keeps my hands on the wheel, so they don't feel threatened at all.
Oh, this
and
is
I
the UK.
will
We don't
make
care.
sure
We know you don't. We know you probably don't have a gun.
Well, that's a mistake, but I will.
Yeah, you've got. You're pulled over, and the car has still got its sirens on behind you. You're doing that whole waiting thing. You know, they're obviously trying to pull up the tags.
Yeah.
They're looking up history, seeing what there is. You've got a few minutes to talk together before
Okay.
policeman comes
I
out
will
of the
say the license plate is clean. Like,
Yeah.
not only is this car like, this is Akron's car. Nobody fucks around in Akron's car. You know what I mean? So everything is clean and by the books. So yeah, I think Akron will sort of like look to the others and say, we've got a handful of minutes if there's anything any of you would like to say before they get over here.
I'm excited to see how you handle the situation.
You weren't
Hatfield's
breaking any
the
laws, right?
Lips sealed. Just
Not.
this is fine. Just body like calm. The kind of calm that is not at all calm.
I raise my clipboard.
I think the only thing Fenice, the only thing that Ardello would see, right, is that Acheron has this their face has gone very like statue. There's no emotion on it, but it's in their eyes. You would see that like mischievous like glitter of, oh, I do bad things all the time, you know, but like doesn't say anything. It just like keeps very impassive. Yeah, just waits for the cop to come by.
And just a few minutes pass. The policeman's door opens, and he very slowly, purposefully strides over to your car. You see him check out the car tires, look at as much of the car as he can before he finally raps on the car's window and indicates for you to pull the window down.
Yeah, I roll it down, immediately looking into the cop's eyes. What do I see? Like, first thing, what does this guy look like?
You know,
He's
a fairly young guy. He's been given this shift. You know, he's probably extremely new to the force.
Okay.
He's been given the really shitty shift, and you know, he's not experienced.
Okay, cool. Good to know. Yeah. Good evening, officer. How may I help you?
Good evening, miss. I'm sorry to pull you over, but just a few questions, if I may.
Mister, I'm a man.
That's what I meant. I don't know. I'm a policeman. I don't give a fuck about fucking gender or pronouns or social norms. I'm a policeman. I'm an arsehole. Get over it. Please don't arrest me.
In a weird way, I'd say that's progressive of you. Right. Is there something you need?
The last honest policeman on the force. Do you have your license, registration, insurance papers on you?
Absolutely. And immediately, Acheron will take out these things, hand it over to the police officer. Their license has been refreshed to have, you know, Acheron's current form on it. It is, of course, in many ways like a forgery, right? But it's a very good one.
Oh no, it's not.
Paid top dollar.
It is not.
Oh no, apparently it's not. Amazing.
Do you have the mask advantage?
No, but I have a slip, and I don't think Slip would let me be riding around in a car.
I don't think Slip
with
has
a not
cobbler.
good ID.
I don't think Slip has cobbler.
Slip, you failed me. Okay, all right, it's fine.
You've got a fake ID. It's not
right,
professionally.
Right,
it might stand up to adjudication. I mean, especially with this guy. You know, he's so fucking new, and he's probably just pulled you over because he's got nothing else to do. He's got to pull someone over, otherwise, you know. So do for me first of all manipulation and subterfuge.
Cast this Pokemon card with your face on it as the real thing.
Actually, I'm Charizard.
Amazing. Can I persuade you to allow me a persuasion manipulation?
Yeah, all right.
Cool. Dice, please don't fuck me. Please. Okay. We're looking at a solid
He'll look
4.
over this registration. Yeah, all right, yeah, the insurance, and hand it back to you. Yeah, that's fine, whatever. So, what are you all doing out at this time of night, driving around?
Oh, we were just seeing a friend. They lost their partner recently, and they needed a bit of comfort, but it's getting a bit late, so we decided to head on back home.
Any name of this friend?
Okay, hold on. Player is blanking on
Catherine?
It was Catherine Gibbs.
Catherine?
Yeah.
Catherine Gibbs. Okay, I was like, Catherine something. Okay, Catherine Gibbs.
Yeah, I might follow up with that, you know, but probably fine. Everyone in the car safe with you? This is all above board, right? Because I'm a policeman, you legally have to tell me if you're doing a crime.
I have a question about the UK laws. Do I have to say any of that? Because I know in the US I don't, but I need to double check because I'm not from the UK. There's nothing that's like,
You're not arrested.
you don't have to just freely offer. Okay.
You're not arrested. I don't think I mean, you're detained, but that's. You're under no legal obligation to say fucking anything. You always have a right to silence.
Hmm.
And you're not allowed to be incriminated by invoking that right either. That is an intrinsic human right.
Right.
Fuck anyone
I think
who
it's very...
will draw conclusions from silence.
Yeah, I think that Acheron stays silent and says, officer, and we'll look to see on their, if they have like, a name on Officer Smythe. Look, we just want to get home. Our friend's been through a lot. We were there to comfort, and now we'd like to go home.
Charisma persuasion.
Cool. Let's do it. Okay.
You're not going to believe this.
I'm going to do...
You're not going to believe this. But the policeman just looks at you and he says, yeah, you know what? It's pretty fucking... it's fine. Everything checks out. On your way now. Go on.
Thank you, sir. You have a good night. And I will
And you keep safe. Your rear tires looking a little old. You might want to get around to replacing them soon. Because I'm a policeman, I always have to have the last word, even though you're completely innocent. I've still got to threaten you with a bit of crime. Because, it makes my tiny penis feel a bit bigger.
I think Acheron just nods, rolls up the window, slowly pulls out the lane, and is watching that police officer. And I think because Rami and Hatfield know Acheron so well, you'd be able to see there was a desire to just get out the car and mess this man up, but is on their best behavior right now. Just like
trying.
You just see slow white knuckle on the steering wheel, I could have taken his teeth.
Or all just the internal chant of what would Slip do.
Right, literally, Slip would not
Seduce the
approve if
cop.
I took his teeth right now.
Yeah.
Just want to take teeth, will not take teeth. But continues to drive, just abiding by the law to the letter.
That went quite well. Good.
It did. Acheron's jaw is clenched because, almost a dead cop. Almost.
The car heads through the weaving residential streets of the city. Heading south, the car follows the road along the small lanes. The once wide road slowly narrows to a single track, becoming more forgotten and damaged with time as they progress, until it finally just ends. No cars are parked up, and the only thing around you in the densely packed thicket of trees is a small red brick Victorian building, its windows long boarded up, as well as its door by long-forgotten planks of wood that seem held together by rot, or just pure stubbornness. What would you like to do?
I think immediately is just looking for any kind of not so much, cameras for sure I think would be just the basic look, but I'm looking for, this is supposed to be the Viper's Den, right? So I'm looking for any sort of telltale signs of, even though there's it's boarded up by, I'm assuming plywood or something like that, you'd still be able to see if light or something is peeking out the sides. And so just a cursory glance of is there any kind of activity with it?
I was going to say not even light, but also any signs that anyone's come over in this area, to this building.
Wits awareness with a +1. but I will warn you the difficulty will be fairly high on this one.
Okay.
So, what is the
Alright.
plan right now? What are we doing?
At this very moment,
Looking.
reconnaissance. Oof, not great. This is supposedly the Viper's Den. In our investigations on what your Primogen asked of us to do, we have been furthering. What is the word I'm looking for? Hold on. Just further following the lines and threads of people that have been spontaneously combusting.
Mm-hmm.
Humans that have been exploding with no rhyme or reason. Initial thought was perhaps it was some kind of blood sorcery causing them to explode.
Our investigation led us here.
So
Maybe
far,
someone
there's
being
been 4
cool.
victims.
Mm.
So far, there's been 4 victims, the last of which we gathered some information that they were quite possibly ghouled
Mhm.
by a Setite.
Hmm.
So that's why we're here. Looking for a kindred by the name of Promise.
All right.
I'm looking at Ardella's face. Is there any sign of like surprise at that news or like any kind of acknowledgement to that news? You know what I'm saying? Because it's not every day you hear of mortals just exploding. So just like how in the know is this Banu Hakim?
I think it's really up to Ardala what she would like you to see, and whether or not she would betray any. Because she has more than enough self-control that if she wanted you to know something from body language, she'll do it deliberately. So, Ardala, are you going to reveal anything, or are you just going to keep your cards close to your chest for now?
You see a stone face with just like a nodding to your words in like as I'm understanding what you're saying, but not
Okay.
How
letting much
close?
transpire.
How
Okay.
close are we to the building?
A few feet away, 15, 10 feet away.
All right. Could I use heightened senses to see if I can hear anything from inside the building?
If you roll wits and awareness and add your Auspex rating to it, you absolutely can.
No. It's after the roll, right? The Auspex, it's not.
Yeah, it's a straight addition to the result.
Okay.
Shiv, in as Acheron mentions blood sorcery, I would like to activate Sense the Unseen as well.
Okay. Sense the Unseen isn't being triggered by anything. But, Rami, you can just barely hear the pulsing thumb of bass music somewhere. You're right, I mean, 8. Yeah, 8. It's coming from that fucking building somewhere.
All right. I have no idea how to get into this building, but it's music coming from it.
You know, there used to be this club in New York. I don't know if any of you have been over to the Americas, but it used to be in the basement of a church. I wonder if our Viper's Den is in the lower bowels of this building.
I mean, that tracks.
It's just. I can see there's a back.
So options.
Back entrance.
Yes, well, options are we could take a back entrance. There may be a cellar entrance, but we also could go through the front door. Really depends on what your mood is.
mean, you know me. I'm a front door kind of person, but I understand that ain't always the wisest approach.
Yeah, I mean, if there are
Alright.
people here currently, they had to get in somehow.
All right then. I'm actually going to back up the car and park a little ways back, so the car's not directly in front of this building. And just where I'm hidden in such a way that from maybe like the main road, our the car is a little bit obscured. Just in case the
This
cop
is literally
decided to
the
be
end of the
curious.
road. Main road is very far away.
Oh, we've like turned off type of
Yeah,
thing.
this is one of those
Understood.
weird places in Oxford, towards the south, where you're still technically in the middle of the city, but all you see is woodlands around you.
Okay. So yeah, just a nice little obscured spot before getting out of the car. Getting ready to move in.
Yep, no problem. Everyone heading out of the car and taking a closer look at the building.
Yes, how much time do we have left in the
Um,
night? Is that like something we need to be concerned about?
Right. Good question.
No, you don't need to be concerned about it yet.
Okie doke.
I would like to do in preparation some vicissitude here. Where I would normally on like in my coat, in the sort of leather jacket trench thing I'm wearing, where normally there would be a bone blade. I'd ask if you allow me to flavor this more so that the bone blade comes from beneath rather than turning the whole hand into a blade.
Yep.
Cool. So yeah,
No
you
problem.
guys would just hear
Just do a rouse check
from within. Wonderful. From within Akron's coat, which the other two are very familiar with. We are successful. The sound of like bone breaking, rearranging, and skin, making weird squish noises and tearing noises. But there would be no reaction to that on Akron's face as they press forward.
So there's a moment of hesitation from Hatfield, but it's Acheron's shoulder that is being shadowed a half a step behind this time around.
Darla, wits awareness for me, please. Sticking with it, or want to re-roll any of those? Potential crit on the table.
Maybe, I don't know.
Not going to get any harm from re-rolling the 4, the 2, and the 3.
Okay, fine.
I will say, like, Akron would have downloaded Ardella on the fact that, like, I mean, I'm sure Ardella has the knowledge of things that the Setites have been doing, specifically with the Ban Hakim and whatnot, but would sort of be downloaded on the fact that, like, clearly they're like stretching even beyond that, and so like they would be aware of those details.
Ardala, as you're approaching this building, you're far more experienced with these sort of hidden away things. You're able to look at these planks, and then you look at the building and you realize that, yep, that's how it is. Those planks are just there. All you need to do is move them and you can go straight in. Really easy kind of shift. It's, these planks are quite obvious to you as the way in. Whether or not you wish to share this information with the rest of the coterie or let them fumble in the dark for a bit is entirely up to you.
I will keep that information to myself for now.
Amazing.
Just want to see them struggle just a little bit longer.
Yeah, I mean, if like Acheron could metagame at any moment, it would be to just like the mistrust meter goes way up, you know. But
That
we don't have
laugh,
that
I don't know.
information, so we will not be metagaming.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, so Acheron. I mean, Acheron is like as we're walking through, adopts this sort of movement of it's a club, right? So like even though it's like boarded up and shit, the awareness that it is a club, it's a kindred club specifically, right? That like they clearly have weird goings ons with blood and ghouls and stuff like that. So Acheron's whole visage becomes that of someone who's going to go party. And so like they open up their button down shirt a bit. You can see like sort of the little beginnings of tattoos, and like they've got necklaces on and shit like that, and they just have a very like relaxed movement. Not necessarily relaxed, but they look that way as they approach.
I believe Ebony is missing out.
I know, right? So much skin she is not seeing. Okay, here we go. So
I
yeah,
have a question. Is there like a way to see a path that is like most traveled by people who've been coming and going?
I fucking love that. That's really good. Wits awareness. I'm going to give you a +1 for that. That's yeah.
Hey.
Damn.
Oh, also, I do have a
I'm gonna
a cane with me.
That's fun.
A cane.
I'm gonna not have all those.
Not a
ones,
Lilith.
maybe.
That's
Oh.
a shame. We
hey.
could have been friends.
Oh hey, guess what?
Oh hey, guess
Very
what?
pretty cane.
Oh hey. We're looking
Right.
at a
If we rolled
crit.
the ones, yeah.
Crit. Yes.
You cast your eyes over this building and you know exactly what to look for. People are going to come and go into a club. It's a club. One of the things that people easily look over is just the fact of dirt. And you look and see this worn out path that leads straight up to where the front door is. And you look at those planks in the dirt and you realize that those planks are on top of the dirt. They've been disturbed. They've been moved extremely recently. If this building was abandoned, dirt would be embedded on top of the planks. Common sense. There's the way in.
Smart, I know.
Yeah, Hatfield's vibe was 100% just going to be approach the door and it is going to open whether or not it wants to. So,
Yeah, I think like Rami just looking around, just being, can you just move the planks at the door?
Hatfield goes and moves the planks.
Thank you.
But not even heavy planks. Just
I know.
bits
I
of
just didn't
MDF.
want to move.
Oh, no. I know. It's just
Okay.
that I know what Hatfield's like.
Yes. No, if there is an easier way, the door is not being kicked in. We are trying to open it first.
Imagine that Hatfield just
Yeah,
walks up to these planks, looking at Rami with this look of just like, you know, Ebony, and then just flicks them down like a couple of cards.
More or less, yeah.
After you.
I think like physically Acheron would have positioned themselves so they're like leaning up against not the door frame obviously, but like right next to it. Maybe to Ardella would see a kind of knowledge of like, you don't walk into, as a group, you don't walk into a front door just full body facing the door, just in case there's some crazy shit going on behind the door. And just has their head turned to seem physically casual, but is taking precautions because, again, is a kindred space, and like, we don't know what they're really doing in here. So there's like a degree of caution from Acheron.
I am taking notes. Stone
Word.
face.
I take notes about you taking notes. Alright.
Also, my notes.
I
are
actually am
totally,
taking
like,
notes on all of you.
Taking notes on Rami, taking notes on the new person taking notes.
My notes
So
are
many notes.
totally. If you look at them, they are in cipher.
Oh, of course.
High five, me and you. My notes
just write
are
like doctor.
in Romanian, but also, yeah. Also, she's a doctor, so she writes like a doctor.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. When the doors were moved, I'm sure like the sound of the music itself gets louder, right? Like there's nothing
Well-
that's really muffling it at this point.
You enter into the shell of a building. The interior open and empty, surprisingly clean, free of dust or signs of age. In the centre of the room, not even hidden away, is a simple stairway that leads down. The faint pulse of music just audible on the air looking out from below the stairs that lead down to a closed metal door. A single exposed light bulb over it shows you the way. What would you like to do?
Anything that Acheron might find interesting in this kind of front area?
Nothing worth mentioning. Only stuff that if I told you it, I might accidentally end up making you chase your own tail.
And does anything ping as far as weird things that could be pinged by Sense the Unseen?
Nothing yet.
Nothing? Alright.
I'm gonna not essentially turn off, I don't know, heightened senses so I do not give myself a fucking headache in this building.
Wise. Yeah, I think we moved through, but definitely with like an awareness and conscious that there's probably other beings likely roaming around.
Hatfield's following along, high strung as usual. Has the body language of somebody who is spiritually itchy, ready to like burst out of their own skin.
Stairs are solid and do not even creak as you each walk down them. Finally, standing before the sealed, handleless door before you. The blast beats pounding against the other side of the metal, and only allowing a small fraction to pass through the metal slider on the middle of the door. One of you instantly just knocks on the door. You know this sort of thing. The metal slider swiftly opens, and the sound of loud music pours out like a torrent gushing forth. You see nothing but unblinking eyes on the other side passing over each of you, before lifting and exposing a mouth. Got the password?
In our conversation, no, not in our conversation. When we were in what's his face in the victim's house,
Julian? Is that his name?
Yeah, Julian, I believe was his name. But I'm almost certain we found something in there that had to do with like numbers or a password of some kind. But remind me because it's been a while. Did we find? Yeah, because I'm like I know I was like looking at the back of photos and stuff when we were in there. So I'm like, did we
You found various dates, I believe. Not all of the pictures had dates written on the back of when they were taken, but the one that led you onwards definitely did.
Yeah, we have a business card. I think that was like the main thing that we had.
A business card for the Vipers then? Was that what it was? Acheron will pull that out and hand it to through the little mouth hole. Hand it to the individual.
The card isn't taken, and the closed mouth slowly turns to a smile as their tongue flits across their teeth before the slider closes with a snap. For a brief moment of near silence, nothing happens, before the heave clunks of metal grinding and dropping against metal as the thick metal door slowly opens to a large dance floor filled with dozens of dancers. The pounding music blasts your senses. The scent of sweat, tobacco, and alcohol near drowns even your undead sense of smell as you walk inside, passing the deceptively large doorman that stands, one hand still holding the door, and the other gesturing for you to enter. The door closes behind you as you enter inside and finally take in the entire place. A large bar runs across the entire opposite wall, upon a slightly elevated space that looks down upon the packed dance floor that is surrounded by clustered seating areas of tables and chairs, each of them packed with other patrons. What would you all like to do?
Acheron does not look at anyone in the eye for more than half a second, but is like looking through the crowd and sort of the layout and is looking for like they're specifically looking for promise. And even though they don't have like a physical description of promise, they're looking for the person that has like maybe a cluster of people around them and or people going to them for like answers. Do you know what I mean? Like someone who looks as if they are.
I'm not even going to make you roll for that, because there are several groups that are exactly like that. You could say there are several promising contenders to be promise.
Hey!
Right. Okay. Are there like empty booths or like empty seating areas?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it is a packed club, but this club it seems to be capable of the capacity that it's quite an astounding feat of engineering as well. This is a very large area underground that completely hidden away, carved out perfectly. It's actually quite impressive.
Okay. Acheron's movement is that they're going towards an empty sort of seating area, booth area. I don't know if the others follow, but that's where Acheron's going.
I'm pretty sure that Acheron, the way that Acheron first of all looks anyway, and the fact that Acheron has gussied himself up a bit, he's getting some attention as he goes, just wandering hands sliding over his body as he goes. It's that kind of a place, they need that sensation of tactile contact as this work of art passes by, and they just need to touch it.
Yeah, there is a slight smirk on Acheron's face as they walk through the crowd, kind of very purposefully, not as much like drawing attention. Like it's not a matter of like someone activating awe, but rather someone who's very comfortable in these sorts of scenarios. Just
natural
slight smirk on their
gravity.
face, right? And I think that like Hatfield and Rami especially would be like aware that smile isn't at all flirtatious, but that it is one of a predator, someone who is like, if I was not here on business, would be here to eat, would be here to have a good time. And so we'll sort of move to the empty seating to sort of give us, and I'd like to find a place that might be a little bit higher, in order to just have like visual advantage of the building.
Not a problem. You'll find one of the more quiet areas where it seems like it's literally been set up, this area, for people to people watch. It's one of the more quiet areas. People here are sticking to themselves more and staying at their own table. You're easily able to sit down, each grab a seat. Waiter quickly comes over and says, "Drink? Anyone? Would anyone like a drink?" I also keep looking at the overlay and I see Barry and his chair and I'm like, he's still AFK. Gets me every fucking time.
When I look at this person, because I have, so two things. One, do they look mortal?
This guy is kind.
Second thing,
most definitely kind. Just so you know.
Okay. So then my question is, as someone who is very, who has the ability to dominate people and mesmerize people, who has a ghoul, is their behavior echoing any of that? Because him asking, "Do you want to drink?" I want to see, like, do they perceive me as this is another like group of mortals who have come in here and they're going to ask for liquor, or are they
awareness?
Able to clock like, oh, you're kindred? Okay.
What's awareness?
Okay. Cool. Sticking dice. All right.
I would also like to be discerning that, if that is okay.
With a +1.
I was gonna ask if you had that power that let you tell if someone was kindred or not.
Oh, I don't. But
Okay.
if you Fenicia would like to make that roll, and I'll give you the +1. Would that be cool, Esty?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Would you like to do the roll instead, Arbella?
That's okay for me. Yeah, sure.
Cool. I will give you the +1.
Okay, so modifier +1.
I like that mix of accents. This was very fun.
Wow.
All those dice, and it's just no. fuck
There
off.
is
Alas.
there is that
There-
reroll
yeah.
from earlier.
Oh, that's very
Sophia
true.
has
You can
given a
absolutely-
reroll.
No one
You
used.
can take. You can
Okay.
take the reroll if you'd like.
Yeah, I'm
Because
good.
it
And
seems
that
wow,
is a
with all
flat
those
reroll
dice
of the
that you
entire
should've
roll
got.
for free, Ardala.
Oh,
dear.
shit.
Okay, maybe
Well,
we shouldn't have let
it
you
ain't
take
nothing.
the fucking. Hey, you know what?
Have
The Banu
fun.
Hakim are here to have a good time.
Has this
That's all I'm
coterie
I'm so
ever
saying.
not
excited
been
to see what
messy?
happens. I'm never
We
messy.
are
I say as I diablerized someone already.
Well, I'm very
Yeah,
glad that this happened
incredibly
here.
messy.
Oh no.
Oh, that's an excellent sign.
Hey,
Mhm. We all just roll messy crits and all have to do.
we love to see it.
Ardala, you cast your eyes over this eater.
Mm-hmm.
He's quite clearly Gould. You know the telltale signs. He's too perfect. He maintains himself at a rate that no human would bother with unless he was specifically told to really make himself look as best as he could. He's far too loyal, doing exactly what he's told. And then you realize this place is an infestation, an anarch, place of debauchery. The beast inside of you is screaming. You are compelled to punish anyone seen to transgress against your personal creed, taking their blood as just vengeance for the crime. For the remainder of the scene, Ardala, you must slake at least one hunger from anyone, friend or foe, that acts against a conviction of yours. Failing to do so results in a 3 dice penalty to all your rolls until the compulsion is satisfied or the scene ends. And if
This
you
is the
feed
worst
from a
thing for Banu
vampire,
Hakim to use.
do not forget
This-
that if you feed from a vampire, your clan bane is also then applicable.
Dare I say, this can only end well.
Have fun.
You
This is
know-
gonna be great.
Actively sweating. Okay, it's fine.
I'll look at this individual, and before anybody can say anything, I will say, no drinks. We need to
Of
speak to
course.
Promise now.
You need to make a
You can
promise.
see Akron's eyebrows go up.
If you need to make a promise, you need to make a show that you will keep your promise. And he'll just scuttle off, leaving you to your own devices. With a Banu Hakim in the middle of a fucking compulsion.
Okay. I imagine we cannot tell that they are experiencing this.
I don't know if
think-
that would be necessarily easily coverable. Probably there's
Right.
something in my eye, like a predatory look.
At the very
That
least,
is
all
very
4 of your fangs are
different.
going to be out. At the very
That is
least.
very, very different from what you guys had seen in the car.
There is like I think like if I see that right, I think Acheron is like, I imagine, I don't know where everybody's sitting, but I imagine like at least Hatfield is next to Acheron, and there's just this like barely audible, and only Hatfield would be able to hear it because they are next to Acheron, of being like, there she is. Of seeing like almost like this true nature of this very stoic Banu Hakim. But we'll say, Adela, I am in the business of quenching thirst. So, should you find yourself hungry at all, if you are not opposed to a blood bag or two, I do have, which I can offer you.
That is very considerate of you. I don't think the need I'm feeling right now could be quenched by a bag.
Understood.
I am
Well,
hawk-eyeing,
after-
by the way, like the dense floor to see if anything is particularly interesting at this point.
Anything that personally is egregious to your personal creeds?
Yes. Several. Simply put.
Fuck! Okay.
Yeah, tell me more.
That's great. Amazing. So good. Love to see it.
Can I keep an eye out on that waiter to see where they go?
They'll wander off to the bar. They'll be doing typical waitering things.
All right.
As for groups, I mean, it's literally take your pick of whatever debaucherous nature that is also suitable for Twitch that you would like to intervene in.
I mean, Ardella does know that this is like a set type owned place. So, like, just the nature of set types, right, would go against quite possibly whatever their personal creeds are.
Yes.
So-
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, 100%. I hate satires.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay.
Ministry is
that's
not
fine.
my favorite, for sure. I don't like to deal with
Understandable.
them, and they trigger me every time.
Yeah, and I totally get it. I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely disgusting behavior. Not acceptable.
I mean, is there someone we're suspicious of? Is there somebody that you want me to look more into?
No, I think perhaps our new friend here is not exactly a fan of the way that the ministry conducts themselves, is all.
That's understandable.
Is there like a particular group that Ardella's like really focused on, like zeroing in on?
It's entirely up to Ardala. If they're like I say, there are several groups that very much Ardala is disapproving of. But if there is a particular group in mind that you would like to bring the swift hammer of justice down upon, absolutely.
I would like to possibly find a misbehaving kind of some sort for me to put my fangs into. Not in a pleasurable way.
You'll be able to find
Some kind who are into that.
one of the kind that's out there. Seems particularly sadistic, enjoying giving and receiving pain. Strangely enough, there is also a small collective group that particularly seem to enjoy being on the receiving end of very vicious aggressiveness dealt out physically by this kind. I'm trying to, I'm trying to get the point across without being too triggering about what he's doing.
I would like to approach this individual that is giving pain.
There's
And-
just a whispered happy hunting from Acheron. Just a little silent,
I imagine, Ardal, you probably not sneak, but you walk up behind him, and he doesn't notice you. He's too enthralled in what it is that he's doing.
I would like to rouse my blood.
Yep.
I'm hungrier. But I would like to literally pick him up from the throat, remove him to the side, and pick up the person that is receiving the pain. Because there is nothing more shameful than letting other people step on you, no matter if you like it. It is disgraceful to show weakness and revel in it.
I'm not even going to make you
Akron
roll
is
to pick him up.
watching steepled fingers.
You're easily able to just reach out without any effort, one-handed, pick this man up by the back of the scruff of his neck, turn him around, and in one swift motion grasp his throat, clenching down hard with your one hand. He's barely able to breathe, and that's exactly how you want it. You throw him, still holding him, of course, to the wall, all four of your fangs bared as you stare at him straight in the eye, pure judgment coming down on him. And you bite. Do your predator roll for me, please.
Where is that again?
For blood and XP.
Okay. Do I get any modifiers or no? Just
No.
that, whatever it is. Wow, I'm rolling like absolute trash today.
Sometimes the dice gods are not on our side.
Reroll three of the black dice, the 4, 5, 6, or the 2 4s, whatever
Yeah.
combination. Not the 6. Don't reroll the 6. That's a success.
No, I'm not gonna re-roll the 6. I'm gonna re-roll the 4, 5, and 4.
Actually, I want to roll a 0.
Well, yeah.
right.
Well, they got
Who
one.
needs it?
3. Yeah, 3. I think that's enough for 3. You'll be able to easily bite hard into this man's flesh. Your only real regret is the fact that you know he is actually enjoying it, but you're trying your best to just make it as uncomfortable as possible. In doing so, you don't slake your hunger. You slake your hunger, but you keep going. You don't need it. You just want this man to feel punished for what he's done. You're able to slake up to 3 blood points worth of hunger, but you're only able to go down to 1. You leave the man alive, but anemic. As soon as you withdraw your fangs, the man looks at you, tries to move forward, blinks, and falls to the floor, unconscious. And your compulsion is over.
I straighten my jacket, and I just go and sit back down.
Akron was watching so hard. I have the sadistic, you could see it as a flaw, attribute. So yeah, definitely was watching like very keenly. The man collapsed. Is there a reaction?
Yeah.
No.
From
I suppose there would be a few scattered reactions of other people that saw it, and they're just like, "Hey!" They think he's passed out from being too drunk. Yeah, that's it.
Can I
That's what we want.
can I like find a different waiter who wasn't the waiter that came up to us?
You absolutely fucking can.
I think Rami just goes over and is like, I have a question. I'm looking for a friend of mine, Julian. I don't know if you've seen him or know anybody who knows him here.
Julian? I mean, there's lots of Julians, and
I'll describe
even
him.
their real
from-
name. Does this look like a real name place?
I will describe him for this person because there are photos.
Oh,
from
that
the
Julian! I
apartment.
mean, he's been here a few times. He's something of a regular, but I don't think he's been here tonight.
Do you know anybody that he normally associates with here? I'm just trying to find out where he
Associates?
is.
I mean,
I'm sorry.
that's a polite way of saying it.
Do you know anyone that he fucks in the corner in the club? I don't know what you want me to say.
Oh, that's a bit boring, isn't it?
I don't.
He
Do you-
fucks over
yes,
there. He gets pissed on over there.
Wow.
Oh God, I'm so sorry. That's disgusting.
He should be.
Wow. Wow.
Hey, we don't kink shame here, okay?
I will kink shame.
He
shit
was
about
out
these.
here. He was out here doing the absolute most, is what we're learning. Okay.
Yeah, it depends on what mood he's in on nights. I've really got to start thinking about these places before I put them in a game, really, haven't I?
The regret on your face. I'm so sorry.
It's my own fucking fault, innit? It really is. But
He said the words and instantly was like, ooh, that was maybe too much.
And then kept
Maybe.
going and made it worse.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
that's what she
Um,
does.
We appreciate it. Don't
Yeah.
worry.
Hands a handkerchief to Ardala while that interaction is happening, so Ardala can wipe their mouth because they've got a few. Yeah, it's a little messy. Not that
I'll
after
take it.
minds, but like,
I'll wipe. Give it back to you.
amazing. Takes it back, puts it in the pocket.
That was quite necessary. If I could do it to the entire club, that would be great. But I guess we're not here for that today.
What?
Where is the other one?
I think over at the bar. You know, I think I'll go have a quick conversation. And Akron will get up and go over to the waiter we did have.
Yeah, he'll be behind the bar.
Hey, darling, I've got a quick question for you. We did ask to speak to Promise.
Really?
We don't have all the time in the world, though. Yes, yeah, we don't have all
really?
the time in the world.
So,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
You see these hundreds of people out there. Don't look in that corner. That is disgusting. But you see the rest of the hundreds of people over here. They're all here to see Promise. And they were all here long before you. What makes you so special?
Well, how about you tell Promise we've got business?
You think I'm even allowed to talk to Promise?
Right, so then you get a hold of who is allowed to talk to Promise, because we need to find him, have a business conversation with him. It's
honey,
urgent.
you are
Mm.
doing this to the wrong person.
Okay. All right.
You really want to see
Wonderful.
Promise? You really want to see Promise tonight?
Yes.
What's it worth to you for me to tell you?
Am I talking to a kind?
Yeah. This make life easier for you. Yeah,
Cool.
he fucking is. He's just. Yeah. His name's Kevin.
Now cool, Kevin. Wonderful. Now I'm gonna hedge my bets here, right? There's a certain amount that I think Acheron is aware of they are allowed to do now that they know that if there's one thing that our new friend Ardala hates, it's the entirety of this club and what it represents. So remember how I said that bone blade is under here? Under the hand? Acheron puts one hand to the outside world. Looks like they just put one hand down on Kevin's hand. But what actually happens is their bone saw goes right through this man's hand. And
Instantly,
they're
the
holding
barman's
on to
eyes
their
are
wrist.
shot wide open. And he's not letting out any cries of pain or anything, but you have his full attention. He's looking at you and he's like, now,
Yes, that's what I was hoping
now
for.
you're getting the idea.
Right,
Now-
right. That was what I was hoping for.
You all need to go out there, and you need to do shit like this to all of them.
Wonderful. I'm going to smile at this barman, at Kevin, and I'm going to remove his fingers.
I'm gonna let you do that for. I'm gonna let you do that for free, but you're gonna take a humanity stain, I'm afraid.
That is absolutely okay. I don't need humanity anyway.
And
No, that's fine.
As you're going off, he's like, "Call me."
Cool. Yeah, I have these fingers. Ignoring, and I will put them in my pocket, and I will sit back down, and I will relay the news to the group. It seems that we only need to direct-
Not
Oh, okay,
quite
okay.
that
Ooh,
simple,
oh.
I'm afraid.
Oh.
Because you're
all
making
right.
your way back. But in the interim, over at your table, some very disillusioned person has approached Hatfield.
Oh no!
Hatfield is
Rami and Hatfield.
keeping it together,
Go ahead.
but it is clear that Hatfield's composure this entire night has been hanging by a thread.
Oh God, help! Mm-hmm. Cool.
So this fairly young man is quite enthralled. I am so sorry, Dad. Is quite enthralled with you, Hatfield. And he's, hey, so I've never seen you here before. I like your the tears on your. You got really big arms.
Turn slowly to give him the most disdainful, "Why on earth are you talking to me, you insect?" kind of look.
Cool.
You've got such
as
pretty
that's
eyes
happening-
too.
Help! I don't know if I don't know
SG,
if Hatfield
is this
has
happening?
their earpiece in. I don't know if Hatfield has their earpiece in. Fucking fingers crossed. But Rami, I know at least has it in, and I'm like
I have it in, yeah.
relaying the news of like, hey, you got to do like extreme things of violence here to get Promise's attention, and that's how we're going to be able to get a hold of them. So whether Hatfield hears that or not is up to Hatfield.
You know what? I'm
But at
gonna
least
flip a
Rami
coin
knows.
real quick to see if I got my earpiece in.
God help!
Although I do have regrets, but this always turns out to be quite good fun when we get them going.
Nah, not earpiece today. Forgot to put it in. Too
Fucking
stressed about
hell.
absence of boss, absence of slip. I'm hanging on by a thread. After on, it's fine. But yeah,
What's it like being wrapped up in those arms? You must be able to hold someone really tight.
get out of my face.
See,
Where
would
do you
I-
want me to go into on you then instead?
Inches bridge of nose. Just like visibly counting, trying to hold the temper back.
Do you want to?
I'm stressed.
Do you want to dance, or do you want to go into one of the? Not that corner. Do you want to go into one of the other corners?
You got 10 seconds to get out of my face.
Oh God. Help!
I'm trying to think of how to
Help.
phrase this so it's not. Oh,
Help!
he will
Chip, you just
back away
gotta
from
send
your
it.
face and kneel down, and then he's going to start like stroking your legs, and he's going to be like, they're like tree
no.
trunks.
Immediately, like, what's the
Knee
Almost-
to the face?
not knee to the face? Not yet. It's takes his hand and moves it with the sort of I do not have to be gentleness, but the very clear I am restraining myself from crushing all of your bones.
Your fingers are so strong. That's such a nice grip. You could hope. Oh, fucking hell. He's gonna. I'm
I'm
awkward here. You're awkward.
Stressed. I'm stressed out.
Yeah,
Not
just-
awkward. I'm stressed.
Last chance to leave before you're swallowing teeth.
Please, God.
He's
let
gonna
me
say
get
the
to
obvious line
table.
back to that. I'm not gonna say.
Then is it fair that he gets punched in the face?
It absolutely fucking is.
Well,
Strength and brawl, please,
Hatfield.
Hatfield.
So, a little less stressed.
Would I be there for this? Would I have come
I like
back
the
for
thought
this,
that you're
or would
coming back
it-
to the table as you're watching as Hatfield lays down this punch.
Okay, I love that.
Yeah.
I-
Thank you, JJ. You
Would
got it.
Can I establish preemptively that I am trying not to completely, like, crush his skull? Like,
I mean, you
I
can
hope-
try, but it's what the dice say.
no, I know it's what
That's
he
the
does.
point of
Just
the.
before
That's the point of making me roll the dice.
I will say,
Yes, no.
as like a quick flashback to Nihon Nights, Marcelina tried that once to say to the ST, "Hey, I'm not trying to kill him. I killed them."
Oh.
So, like, hey, if the dice are like they're dead,
I'm not expecting it to work. I'm just saying that's the intent.
right. Okay. Okay.
I am
we get
fully
it.
aware I am rolling here to restrain myself from murder.
Would you like to stick with it, or would you like to re-roll
Child.
any of those?
Child.
I'm gonna flip a coin again.
Oh God.
Yeah,
Hey,
flip
extreme
the
acts of
coin!
violence.
Flew away! Where did it go?
The
I'm
coin was like,
flipped.
kill him.
I'm not re-rolling the coin! The coin refused to answer!
I'll tell you what. I never knew Hatfield was so well off. They've got a few quid floating around in the air.
Wow. Amazing.
I know that look, Fenicia. You're like, I hate it here.
No, I quite love it, actually.
Yeah. Akron is Akron, like, walking back to the table, sees this. I'm sure I can, like, over.
As you walk back
ahead
to the
of people.
table, you might catch the trail end of like logs, and then just this flying fist out of nowhere that actually screams in the wind, makes full contact with this man in the face, and sends him flying back a few feet. You hear a couple of teeth drop onto the floor, and he spits out blood, but there's this big smile on his face, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I knew you were the one." And then
Fantastic.
he groggily, barely coming in and out of consciousness, just wanders off back into the crowd.
Fantastic. So under that, I assume Hatfield got my earpiece relay message. And it's like, good fucking work. And Acheron goes to the floor and picks up those fallen teeth and puts them in their bag. And then sits down and was like, and is like, right, so apparently the more bloodshed, the more attention. And then we get to talk to who we're here to talk to. Otherwise, they hide away in their little hidey hole. So I would say, Adala, if you're really interested in punishing those who are making such a fool of themselves, you've got free reign. There's a little corrupting fucking demon speak in that. You know what I mean? Like a little bit like, go ahead. Do the thing.
Rissa, you made a character that corrupts others at the table? No, never.
Listen,
And just for the record, Hatfield's over there wiping bloody knuckles off on jeans, did not get the earpiece message. We're just like, oh, cool, that's convenient. I'm not in trouble then. I'm not in trouble for having a temper. Nice, it works. So that is like completely hidden behind the sullen poker face. Like, oh yeah, no, I totally meant that to happen, uh-huh.
Yeah.
So this promise person would like to see more violence? Is that what it is?
Well, makes sense. They're Setite. Corruption comes in all forms. You've got to do something impressive. View this as a gladiator arena, and Promise is the king.
The Grami's gonna like over the headpiece just be like, "They want to set the place on fire."
Fire is an option. Is what you hear Acheron say out loud. Fire is an option.
Field perks up.
We can smoke them out. We are in the middle of the woods. It's not likely that many people would. Well, most people probably view this building as just an abandoned place. So if it catches on fire, things happen. Wouldn't be a breach of the Masquerade at all.
Keeping that in the back of the head for an exit strategy.
As you're talking, there's a man that just walks out from the crowd, holds a single rose, and he looks at you all and he says, "I love what you're doing," and just puts the rose on the table and scuttles off.
Well,
Did we see where they came from?
They sort of just wandered out of the crowd,
Okay.
and then wandered back in.
like I said, it's the gladiator arena, and Promise is the king. Just looking at the rose,
Yeah, Hatfield's looking at the rose, looking back up, just kind of expression. Who are you people?
Yeah, Setites, they are an interesting clan, to be certain. How would you like to approach this, Ardala?
The fact that the punishment goes and plays into the game of the ministry is not my favorite thing, to be honest.
Well, you can always punish the Setite after for creating the game in the first place.
That is true.
Are there other doors in this place?
No.
Beat me to the punch. I was wondering the same thing.
All right.
But I'll tell you what.
Yes.
Would you... I'm going to have to make it wits and awareness. I can't make it anything else, but I'll let you have a +2 modifier from... a +3 modifier from everyone else for, just generally looking around the place.
Mm-hmm.
Generally looking around the place.
Acheron will say, like, as that roll's, happening, Acheron will say, if I were a Setite, I'd want to be in the thick of it, in the thick of the corruption, the debase of these individuals. I bet you Promise isn't hiding at all. Not really, not in a traditional sense, but perhaps as someone in the crowd.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like we know anybody, so that would make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Also,
Rami.
Promise doesn't know we're coming.
Rami, and I think the rest of the coterie as well. There's no other obvious doors apart from the one that came in. But as you're looking around this structure, you're unsure if this was... It's almost as if this whole ground was gutted out, and this place was just put in modules. You can see joins that go across floor to ceiling and around every so often, which is very strange, obviously.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll point it out at least.
So the building itself, just so that I'm understanding this correctly, it was sort of like Lego pieced together in its construction. Like one thing was built first, then
these
another
are
added
huge
on.
fucking Lego pieces kind of thing. It's like the entire room is one block, and then an entire room next block, and so on and so on.
Okay.
Kind of like how they build the McDonald's these days. It just literally comes in these sections and then put together, which is
Yeah,
really fascinating to watch, by the way.
Right. All right.
All the aspects I
Yeah,
have, I don't have the one power that would tell me who the vampires in this room are.
Yeah. I think like as that's being relayed by Rami, and we like take notice of that. I'm still going off this assumption that like one, Promise didn't know we were coming. So like whatever they would normally be doing on any given night, right? My imagination thinks that perhaps they'd want to be in the middle of it, right? In the middle of all the debauchery and whatnot. The person that had said to us, I love what you're doing, and placed down the rose. Was there anything about them that gave off ghoul or just like a regular patron or perhaps even kindred?
Probably just kind.
Okay. Cool.
And I'll tell ya. You know me, I'm a front door kind of person. I don't like playing these games. What's to stop us just standing on the table and asking where this guy's at?
I nod at Hatfield and I'm looking at this rose. Now I have a specialty in botany, right? Is there anything that I can learn from this rose in particular?
There's a long stem blood red rose. Traditionally, this is a symbol of love. This is what you would give to a passionate lover, or if you don't want to sleep on the couch anymore.
Right, understood. Amazing. I will pick up the rose. Where's the DJ at?
He's sort of the head of the room that looks over the entire structure.
Yeah, I was gonna ask where the music was coming from because, yeah.
There's an easy way to access this area, right? Like, I imagine it's on a stage or something like that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, a stage is one of those things. It's just like an elevated plinth that's got enough room for the DJ equipment and people can go around and whatever, yeah.
Okay. I will look to the crew after noticing that and say, how would you like to do this? Would you like to stand up on the table and just call out for Promise? Or do we want to play into the game?
I personally don't want to play any games, and if we were to not, turning the music off is the one thing. So.
All right then. Ardella, Hatfield, is that agreeable?
Hatfield's just gone back to sitting stone still, just twitching faintly. Hatfield is having a day.
I think Hatfield wants to punch someone again.
Nod.
Sure.
I don't disapprove.
Are there
Lays.
speakers? I'm sorry.
There you go. I mean, I imagine there
sorry?
are speakers probably
Speakers?
Oh, yeah.
Like
Massive, great big 4x12 tabs in front of the DJ booth itself, as well as obviously big ones around the room.
I'm thinking about some stuff, that's all.
I could always go around the room and
make a scene, which is what I would do.
if violence is what they want, I definitely want to take care of some of these disgusting human beings that are here. They want to be
fantastic.
So
but
might as
do you want to give them what they want?
Fantastic. As that question is posed by Rami, Akron is going to get
don't like fire. I don't think anybody.
Akron will get up and is going to the DJ booth.
Because the fire isn't meant to like kill people; it's meant to cause a problem.
Be able to go straight up to the DJ booth. And, you know, the DJ's just there. He's doing his thing that the DJs do.
Right. I'm gonna catch his eye.
Yep.
And I will say, "Hey, your shift's over," and I'm going to do. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna do. I guess this would be. I don't know. You tell me if it's compel or mesmerize. But I'm going. My intention is to have them leave, go into the crowd or whatever, and essentially that Akron would take over the DJ booth.
Do a rouse check for me. I think that would be. I'm going to count that as mesmerize. Because I like that idea. I think that's a really good idea.
I do get hungrier, which is a problem, but we'll figure that out in a moment. So,
But that's an automatic success. The DJ's eyes just glass over for a moment. He looks around. He looks a bit confused, but shrugs. Not my problem. Grabs a little
cool
backpack underneath the decks. Cool.
Yeah.
And then just wanders off.
Cool. I am at this point, right, because of where the DJ booth is, I'm still looking at the crew. If I see that they start to engage in acts of violence, I'm going to change the tune to something far more aggressive and dark, probably very drum and bass. Give them a fucking soundtrack to kill to. However, if I see that there's like a resistance to that, like they're not intending on committing any acts of violence, I'll cut the power entirely.
Yeah. Whatever music you want to put on, it's no problem.
Just play the Titanic
right.
soundtrack.
Part of the Titanic soundtrack.
Would not apply in this situation.
It would be really fun. That's all.
But yeah, so I'm asking the crew, do you guys get violent or are you like, nah?
Unless something happens that sends Hatfield, like, off, Hatfield is not going to pop off. Trying to contain that. It is generally bad to explode for no reason.
Y'all gotta let me know, though.
Yeah, I wouldn't, just because I don't want to play into what they want. That's all. It very much becomes, unless I have, like, absolutely no choice, I won't.
Okay.
I don't
Ardella,
have
are
a
you swinging?
compulsion anymore, but I don't like this place. So there is definitely a part of Ardala that is thinking about taking care of the problem. In some sort of way.
Okay.
I think I would like to find the group of people that were doing their thing earlier. I approached one of them. The one is unconscious. I would like to go to the sadist. And as before, approach the person.
This is the same one that you fed on, or a different one?
No, that's the one that was doing things to the one that I fed on.
Gotcha. And, you know, there's this face bruised, a few cuts and things, but strange smile on
like,
their
I
face.
I want to go to the giver, not the takers now.
Oh, right. Okay. Yep, no problem. And yep.
And, yeah, I think I'd like to, want to go extra or no, guys? What do I do? Do I go for it or do I not go for it? We're gonna go.
You're in a
flip a
ministry
coin?
place.
You're
Extra
muted.
is a thing.
Well,
Extra
I don't know where my
is your
coin
coin.
went, so I'd be flipping a bottle cap. But do you want me to flip a bottle cap?
Hey, if it's the upside, it's heads. If it's the bottom side, it's tails, bro.
You get me.
Yeah,
You got me.
it works.
Also, Acheron is a sadist, so they're like, yes, please do your thing. That's why they're putting on soundtrack to violence.
Yeah, I would like to just like approach this person. Are they kind?
Yep.
I would like
just
to
had
look them in the eye, and as I place my finger on them, activate Blood Cauldron as I say, You like to give pain to other people. You think you're not going to just get that back onto you 10 times fold.
Yeah. You know, as this is about to happen, Acheron cuts on a track. The track from the first Blade movie in the Blood Rave scene. That's what's playing.
Ardala, open your sheet a moment, please, and on the tabs at the top, go to Attributes and Abilities.
Yep.
On the right-hand side, you should see what you're after. Click the button that says Show in Macro Bar, please. And then just hit the macro that appears at the bottom of your screen.
In the character sheet, though, right?
It should be at the bottom of Roll20 itself. It should say Cauldron of Blood at the bottom.
Okay, and then I'll just do it.
Yep. We're not going to disagree with that now, are we?
Amazing.
Let's do
It's got a
this.
great soundtrack. Amazing.
As you place your hand upon the kine, it is only a few seconds. You watch as pieces of flesh bulge and pulse faster and faster, until finally the entire body swells, explodes, and sends pieces of viscera, blood, skull, flesh, and more flying across the entire complex. Everyone turns. The crowd slowly forms a circle around the coven. At this point,
I'm
I'm
up in
going
the
to take a
DJ
break.
booth. Hey,
We'll be right back. You just got to go and get a toothbrush to go and get some of the bits of skull out of the corners of the...
Pop goes the mortal.
Welcome back. The crowd that has slowly formed a circle around the coven. Although Acheron has removed herself from the DJ booth and joined them. The crowd starts to smile. Small, spread out claps start as large double doors slowly swing open, revealing themselves as the walls, spilling blinding light for a second as pupils adjust to the new sensation. The silhouette forms into being, a tall, beautiful figure. Long, thick, flowing black hair hangs off their shoulder as most every club-goer stands in reverence to the new, unknown, beautiful figure. Introductions need not be made. You know this could only be Promise. A sudden silence befalls the entire club as someone whispers into Promise's ear. Their black lipstick parts slowly, revealing Promise's pristine white teeth, complete with obvious 4 fangs. Promise gives a small nod to the messenger that steps forward, addressing the crowd in a surprisingly calm, quiet voice. The man that was whispering to Promise says, "Friends! Tonight is the night. It is nights like tonight we do this. Every night we gather. To outsiders, to newcomers, this is but a party. But those of you who have been here more than a night, you know why we do this. To awaken that which lies in all of us. To bring out that which you hide. Here you can be free to unleash it all. Passion, fury. But so few that come here ever even show the potential to truly want your shackles broken. But tonight is the exception. These new arrivals have shown that they know what being free is, what letting go truly means. man gestures at the coterie, as Promise seems to lose interest and glide back from whence they came. As the coterie are encouraged to walk up and follow as the crowd parts, forming a path, which you follow, leaving the club behind you. The walls close behind you, and you hear the beats start and blast for a split second before fully sealing themselves. A spotlight burns through the darkness upon you all, as a disembodied voice crackles over unseen speakers. You're not the usual kind that step through here, but you have been chosen. Your little displays out there showing your gifts. You know exactly what is inside of us all, don't you?
I think Akron gives it like an incline of their head, but I am sort of searching. I'm searching I don't want to say the shadows, but almost like I'm looking for like movement that is possibly on the far side of this room. I'm kind of just like trying to gather the layout of the room.
Okay, yeah. It's,
you know, as I'm hearing this.
It's a circular room. You are seeing traces, flits of movement, like it almost looks like water on the wall of the shadow, and you know it's a mirror. This is what a mirror is like when it's barely any light hitting it.
Does Sense the Unseen pick anything up here in this room?
I'm going to have to make you roll. I think, yeah, roll Sense the Unseen. Let's see. I think, yeah. It's a very good question. Thank you for calling me on that, by the way. I needed that reminder.
I will say too, I think as this is happening, Akron is slowly shifting their body so that their back isn't exposed. So they're sort of like,
if y'all thought
go ahead.
Y'all thought Hatfield was tense before. That is nothing on how Hatfield is now. Just absolutely resonating with suppressed everything, slightly glassy-eyed. Ever since the y'all know what freedom is line, Hatfield is barely keeping it together right now.
Yeah, I would say like that shifting is happening so that in a way, Akron almost goes back to back with Hatfield, and their hand reaches back, and they, oh no, Ardala.
This can only end well.
This is gonna be great.
Akron just touches the tip of their finger to Hatfield's wrist, as like a hey, we're in this together, but is back to back kind of with Hatfield.
Ardala fucking doing the most right now.
It's fine, just reroll the 10 and you don't have to worry about it.
Ardala.
You're doing so right now.
Your vampiric senses are kicking in, and you're casting your eyes around, looking around for anything of a supernatural nature aside from yourselves and the obvious. Nothing immediately grabs your attention as you look around, but then you realize that below, right by your feet, there's this glow, barely visible, escaping through cracks in the floor? Something in the floor? Why are there cracks in the floor? And it is at that point you suddenly hear metal grind against metal. A loud clank as the floor opens up. You are surrounded by a dirty, browny red aura all around you. And you all fall the floor having swallowed you all whole. It feels like minutes before finally you land in ankle-high water, an acidic stench almost overwhelming your senses. A dim red light ekes out from somewhere far above you. As you all cast your eyes up, then downward, you realize the walls are not loose or carved rock, but flesh, slowly pulsing, breathing, a strange mix of some kind of green, viscous blood liquid, mixing, oozing from the moist flesh that surrounds you. Pieces of bone, clothing, the odd phone, and other assorted trinkets float by or are knocked by as you wade through the strange liquid coalescing around you. What would you all like to do?
I think it goes without saying that a scream of fury is released.
Frenzy check, if you would like, Hatfield, or you can just give in to your frenzy and ride the wave. What would you like?
Oh, gosh, where did my bottle cap go? I'm gonna flip it. We'll frenzy check to see if we're frenzy checking. Nah, we're just giving in.
You're gonna ride,
Okay.
just giving in. That's,
Amazing.
It's been a day! This is fine!
that's riding the wave, then.
It has been.
You will be able to be in control of your character, but you will still be suffering from a fury frenzy. You need to destroy the subject of your ire. Yeah, simple as that.
Okay.
What are the rest of you all doing?
So, just double check. The flesh is like in the liquid, or the flesh is the walls?
The flesh is everything.
The flesh is the walls and everything.
Fantastic.
So it's not a
As
wise
a
move.
meeting.
Hatfield is not acting with wisdom right now. A wall is being punched. That is the vibe, even when the walls are not squishy flesh. But you know.
Yeah.
Only
I got
Barry
you.
was here, you could eat the walls.
It's
Hatfield,
just gonna be his
strength roll.
vibe.
Oh.
So as a Samitsi and like just hey, the knowledge, right? What vibes am I getting here?
The
Instantly
fuck is
reading-
this? You've heard about this kind of construction before. You've obviously know the legends of greater Zamitsi that would carve entire cathedrals of flesh, but this is something else. Entirely
but it's
possible,
like
of
of that
course.
same.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like, this is flesh crafting, but on some unknown level to you. I mean, you at least assume it's flesh crafting because a creature.
Alcaron, you
this
are
isn't a
witnessing the
creature,
work of an
right?
artist.
Yeah.
Hatfield.
Okay.
You throw your fist straight through one of the walls instinctively. Your fist pounds through actual flesh until you make contact with a piece of concrete wall on the other side. You retract your fist and notice the flesh quickly heals itself afterwards.
Is there any sort of path down there?
I mean, there's the chamber above you where you fell.
Well, besides
Okay, so-
that, like anywhere to
Question.
go.
That's all you can see. I mean, this is a fairly large area, but it's
I have a
flesh.
very important question. How thick is this wall of flesh? How sturdy is it?
Sorry, I didn't want to commit myself to an exact measurement, and then I thought about, oh no, don't phrase it like that, Shiv. That's let's say it went beyond halfway up the forearm.
Right.
Okay.
So we're thinking it's a thickum. Okay.
I have a very.
Okay.
Now you
I
can
have
see
a
why I
specific
had trouble with how to
question.
fucking phrase that.
That's valid.
Yeah.
Would
Again, Hatfield is not thinking rationally or strategically here. Hatfield is a full-on rage brain. If there is that much flesh here, well, there's room to claw. You
Yeah. Okay.
I would
I-
like to unseat my hidden blade from my cane, with my cutting my palm as I do it.
Rouse?
Yep.
I forgot to say, I have Eyes of the Beast, so I am not affected by the darkness.
Oh. I mean,
Are any of us?
basically the room above you was large, undecorated. The mirror, common sense, you know. I don't need to make you roll fast.
Yeah.
Obviously, a two-way mirror, but
Okay,
strangely empty.
I will. Cool. So I will say aloud that remember, Gladiator Arena. Because especially because of the two-way mirror thing, that they're like, we're currently actively being watched in this moment. Cool.
I have a very
Go ahead,
odd
Ron.
question that I want to ask about Ashes to Ashes.
Just empty.
Would the flesh be considered a corpse in any way, or would I have to just find out? Okay.
No, it's very much alive. It's alive,
Hatfield
'cause
is
it's, like,
trying to
breathing
Kool-Aid
and
Man
shit.
up.
But
the
I
wall.
like your fucking thought process there, Rami. I
Yeah.
must say, you've been on the ball tonight. You have been on the ball tonight.
Okay. I think what Acheron is going to do here is get next to the wall. And I'm thinking we're gonna fleshcraft this wall of flesh.
Can you fleshcraft the door for us?
Well,
I don't know how it works.
I'm flesh crafting, and my intention is to perhaps create either a sort of imagine an unplugging sort of situation to get this liquid out. You understand what I mean?
Like a drain?
Almost, but flesh crafted.
Only issue with
butthole?
that is like this liquid is pouring from all
Oh, it's
around.
coming
this,
in.
The
coming in.
flesh is
Okay.
secreting.
Okay. Okay, I thought it was just at the bottom. I
What
didn't
is
realize
wrong with
that
my
it was
fucking mind to
actively-
think of this shit? What the fuck? Do I need therapy?
hey.
We're in a whole Lucy right now, guys.
We're in a Halisi. Okay, so we're in the Halisi.
Oh, God.
Amazing. Wonderful.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Right.
Yep.
So, hey, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna flesh craft us some stairs out of the flesh.
Out of the whole Lucy lining.
Yeah.
Why are
we're
we
gonna flesh craft us some stairs. Hey, I'm down. We're creating stairs out of the Halisi so we could get back towards the mirrors. Because
Oh,
my
God.
intention is to create a path for Hatfield to punch the two-way mirror. It shatters and hopefully reveals who's watching us in this space. You understand my vibe?
It's terrible that I do.
That's a good
Can
And
vibe.
I
it's probably
assist
helpful because
her?
otherwise Hatfield is just going to try to tear chunks out of the wall to make a ladder. Hatfield is not thinking here. It's just like, I will punch that beautiful face.
Yeah, in my mind, I'm just like,
Punch that
if this is anything like Samitsi fleshcraft work that's happening here, this is a person who clearly knows what they're doing, and one, we got to get the fuck up out of here before it gets really weird. But then second, Hatfield is frenzying, and I'm like, I don't know how long before he starts taking it out on the rest of us, which is, I'm sure, what the ideal goal is for the people watching. So yeah, I would like to.
Can I
flesh
just
craft
say, what do
some
you mean?
stairs.
Before it gets weird, was this not weird enough for you?
I mean,
This
it
is
can always
Akron
be
we're talking
weirder.
about. It's
Yeah.
not. This is
I've-
Akron we're talking
I've
about.
visited
Not
It
weird.
can
plenty of
always be
OTs
weirder.
before.
We're out
Oh,
here.
you've been in
Okay.
plenty of holes. Yeah, I understand.
Also, yes. So flesh crafting requires a rouse check.
It does. Please roll flesh crafting.
Once
I did.
again,
We will be
poor
getting
Shiver is
hungrier.
the face of regret.
We are getting hungrier, which is not great, you guys.
I thought
but
this was quite a
are
sound
you
thing, you know.
4?
I thought this is pretty horrific. This is
No,
pretty
no.
gross. When they realise what it is as well and what's going on to them.
in my mind, it's a stomach. So I'm
Oh,
like,
yes, that's
we
what I
gotta get the
That's
fuck out of here.
that is actually exactly what it is. You are being digested right now. Well
Amazing.
That's what I think.
Right,
No,
which
I had
Sorry.
no idea what it is. I was just here hanging out in the liquid.
yeah, no, getting shut out by a Samiti thing.
Could I help
Not
with
Akron's
with my special blade to help the process of making stairs if I
Yeah,
take
you know what, but
chunks off of the fucking like wall?
That's highly irregular. I don't see why not in this particular instance. Why not? Yeah. Well.
Cool. Amazing. Cool.
Also,
so
I'm
gonna
doing
do the roll.
aggravated damage to the stomach, so I don't know if.
Okay.
That's true.
Is that would be a +1 with that help from Dala?
You get a +1 with your flesh crafting.
Amazing. It's a 9.
Dang.
Oh wow!
The dice said yes, please.
So can I flavor it? Can I flavor it?
You can do anything you want with 9 successes. Run.
Okay. Amazing. So you guys see there probably something that like if Akron lives long enough, you would see this moment of like a flash of what this like elder version of Akron would be, where the bones, like their cheekbones and stuff, right, would like start to jut out of their face, their shoulders start to kind of curve upward, and their hands become, think almost Edward Scissors hands, but it's like scissors, sewing needles, like that kind of thing, like, you know, a bone, and you hear like their own bones and flesh kind of cracking and melding to become this like Coraline's other mother type of vibe.
Akron has witnessed the work of an artist and has decided to become a collaborator.
Right, absolutely. And so Adela's out here fucking slicing out flesh, and you just see like in this almost like blood-bending way, Acheron begins to pull the flesh and start to like simultaneously cut and sew and create these stairs out of this
I'm literally
flesh.
handing you like lumps of flesh wall.
Yeah, and you see that like almost as like impossibly, almost like pulling from the bones and bits that are also in like the weird stomach juices, create this like almost like the what would be required to make these pieces sturdy. And so in the vein of like Resident Evil, right, where like just like horrific gothic horror body shit creates the stairs that have what look like almost like screaming faces in them, as if actual bodies had made these stairs, and that is like the creation of these stairs that Acheron makes. And then sort of, you know, if you'll allow me the extra flavor, just kind of like slowly guides Hatfield up the stairs.
Well, I'm just
I kind
picturing
of want these
Hatfield is
stairs in
attempting
real life.
Hatfield is attempting to climb, but the flesh is too soft. It's like peeling away beneath the hands and feet, and then just gently guiding over to the sturdier handhold, and Hatfield just scrambling up, full rage mode.
Yeah.
You
Just
yeah.
whispering under their breath, beautiful, this is incredible, how beautiful work. Like, you know, they're having like maybe a little bit of a manic moment as they're doing this.
You're,
And I'll just
You're able to make your
Hatfield
way.
just screaming profanity the entire time.
you're easily able to make your way
Yeah,
up
right.
these stairs. I mean, you still have to be careful. Even Hatfield, furious as they are, is actually taking their time as well, because even when you move this flesh, it is still secreting this liquid constantly, making the stairway up very, very precarious. But you're all
Like a slip and
fortunately,
slide.
you know, you're not fucking children. You can easily walk up
Yeah.
wet stairs. You're not You have the motor control of an
Yeah.
adult.
Right.
Do I? Okay.
Yeah, I imagine
maybe not
too,
Akron
like,
at this point, who is having too much fun.
Yeah, but I think too, like, we'll be using this, like, they obviously look themselves again, but would be using like their own like bone claw stuff to stick into the skin as they climb up to just like sturdy themselves.
Yeah. And eventually you will all find your way back to the large chamber you started from. With Promise already awaiting you. He sits alone, atop a simple wooden chair. As he notices you, he looks up, shakily says, What are you doing here? You're not meant to be here.
I would like to approach this
Yeah, I'm gonna say-
motherfucker.
If
with-
nobody stops Hatfield, Fury Frenzy is not over yet.
Yeah, I was just gonna say the frenzy's still on. So I think that like Acheron is just like wiping their hands, wiping off their clothes, not saying anything because they're like, there's two motherfuckers that will tear this person to bits. My job is done.
Ardala just got her Armani suit fucked up by
Yeah.
the Ussi's juices,
Ooh,
and
yeah.
she is not happy right now.
It's-
Especially considering that this is a Setite den.
Yeah, it's giving you will have to throw this Armani suit away, and that's a travesty in and of itself. So
Yeah.
it's not looking good
It is.
for Promise.
I am dressed up to the occasion, and this motherfucker drops me in a fucking pool of acid. Mm-mm.
Not good. Bad
Mm-mm.
choice. Bad
Yeah,
choice.
so unless somebody's full on yeet self at, yeah.
Hatfield,
I
I
strength
would
roll.
like. I would like to like do something of like I don't know like if would that be like
I don't. Hatfield can't actually.
roll? Like
Hatfield can't do anything with teamwork because of the frenzy at the moment, and we have to give turn order to Hatfield first due to the frenzy.
oh yeah, sure, absolutely. Like Hatfield can
yeah.
go as crazy as they want to go. I have nothing against that. That motherfucker deserves it. Oh,
Hatfield.
your skull, just wait!
Hatfield. No thought, no consideration. The ground is solid. The target is there. You launch yourself, turning yourself into a missile, fly through the air, and land directly on Promise. You don't notice that the long, flowing black hair is now separated from the body and is atop the chair.
As in like a wig?
It was a wig.
It's a wig. That's a wig. The wig is stuck to the chair. Promise is bald. Promise is bald. Okay.
No thoughts, just Fury.
Strength roll? Well, hang on. I should give everyone else a
yeah, no, I
chance
just did
before
that.
you fucking Sin City him like the yellow bastard. We'll see what other people want to do
Yeah,
first.
no, everybody else do your violence.
Is the room dark or is there light in this room?
It's dimly lit at this point. It's no
Okay.
longer pitch blackness as it once was.
Right. Cool. So my eyes of the beast are still going. Am I seeing anything interesting here? Am I anything that I might want to take for myself? I might want to use just, generally what's going on.
Just the chair is, the chair and the wig are really the only new things in the environment
Okay.
aside from Promise.
Okay, wonderful.
strangle him with his wig.
I have probably darker thoughts. Cool.
Make
So
him-
like Acheron is like walking around, like letting Hatfield do the thing, right? And just walking around and just goes up to the chair and grabs the wig. And I'm gonna wait my turn. I'm gonna hold my action if I may.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So we have Hatfield on
Ardell.
top of
Mm-hmm.
this promise guy.
I would imagine, you know, it doesn't take a genius to figure out clenched fist, very high in air, very angry Bruja. If you want
I am
information, you've only
going-
got a few seconds.
I'm going to join in on the side, whichever side Acheron is not on. Are you right behind the chair, Acheron, right now?
No, I was saying that I am on the left side of the chair.
On
is
the
what I'm
left
saying.
side, then I'll take the right
Yeah.
side.
Yeah,
I
I've
would
just
like
picked up the
to slice a bit of skin with that special knife that I have.
Right off promise, I take it?
Yep.
He will be screaming in agony and begging you to stop. Crying, and Hatfield will see, you know, he is crying. They're bloody tears, but he is crying.
I actually, as he's crying bloody tears, it's perfect. Also, I would like to take a little bit of their blood and taste it with
Oh, we are in trouble.
with a taste of for blood. Hi, bye.
He came in and just did a bunch of slurping sounds. Amazing.
And of course, I don't have
Thanks,
to.
Flip.
The one power I don't have offhand is a taste of blood.
I can resolve plus blood sorcery difficulty 3 with a win. I can determine resonance intensity of the blood. If human,
That's
I
all I
can
need.
also
Go for it.
identify if mortal, vampire, or others, and I guess it depends on how much. It gives me blood potency. Critical win also reveals.
I'm not. Yeah, they
Yeah.
reformatted the sheets. I've already got it on there. Go for it,
Okay.
please.
Yep.
Sorry, everybody. Wow. He's a thin blood.
Thin blood. Posing as a satire.
He is an incredibly young thin blood.
A thin blood posing as a satire. Amazing.
Very interesting.
Yeah,
So
I
he
feel like
would be
all
around about-
Hatfield needs to
I mean,
do is
yeah.
punch them and they'll be dead.
Amazing. Okay.
I spit the blood out onto his face, and angrily I will say, "Why the hell are you posing as a Setite, disgusting thin blood? And tell me why I should not get rid of your vermin ass right now."
Because I'll tell you everything.
Talk quickly. Your life is nearly over.
They recruited me. I didn't want to be here. I was scavenging for food, and then some guy in a suit, just a fucking G-man, just asked me if I wanted a place to stay, and yeah, and then that's how it started. This whole fucking thing built up around me, and I was told to just, fine, dress up and be like this promise guy, and just not say anything, and just the thing. And I did what I was told. I was told I'd be safe.
Do I think he's telling the truth?
I mean, I didn't want to make you bother to roll because I just thought, yeah, you're scaring the shit out of him. This is automatic success.
Okay. So, Julian and the others who shuffled off this mortal coil via explosion. That has nothing to do with you.
I don't know names. I wheeled out. I wave a bit. They put me in. I get fed. I stay indoors. It worked. It worked so much. It worked. Everything worked. I mean,
I need an
Promise
address.
isn't even a name. It isn't even my name. What kind of name is Promise? My name's Bernard.
I need an address. Amazing. I need an address and a name now.
And where is Promise?
There's no promise. There is no promise. They just make me pretend.
Mask this lovely little thin blood was wearing.
The guy, he said he was from the lodge. The lodge. And then...
Son of a bitch.
Just picturing still frenzying Hatfield was barely being held back by the others while they asked their question and breaks free just in time for this horse sucker to just pop like a balloon.
And Hatfield, that'll end your frenzy as well.
This is definitely the same thing I can do.
Another scream of rage as Hatfield is once again denied the satisfaction of a kill.
Now that I see it, you guys saw it. What I did earlier in the dance floor, this is exactly what happened to this guy.
Yes, and I'm assuming that it wasn't your clan involved in all this nonsense.
I don't believe so. I think it's the other clan that can do the same.
You see, like, the look of absolute, utter disgust on Acheron's face with the confirmation that it is not the Banu Hakim, but it is, in fact, the Tremere. And they are, like, I would say, sort of, like, leftover from their, moment they had before. The sort of the wet line of their eyes are blood red, and you can see all the veins in their eyes are almost, like, pulsing, and there is a calculated cold rage that is existing now in Acheron.
Yeah, though Hatfield is past the frenzy, the cold rage is echoed. It's the calm fury now, the kind of like, I'm gonna rip somebody's head off. Yeah.
I believe with this information that at least we gathered something out of this. I do think that it would be in our interest to go report this to Kalal.
I agree.
No question. How we feeling on that exit strategy?
I don't think you would mind all that much if this place was ablaze.
I mean, we got a flesh pit in the basement.
At least that's on fire. There isn't anything else up here, right? Were we entered?
No, it was just the wig and the chair that was in here.
The chair is definitely the theme of the week.
I kicked the chair over now.
You think that chair was not knocked over in the initial
pounce? Yeah.
I throw it down.
I imagine after this is not much time has actually happened, and the chair is currently still spinning on one leg after Hatfield's darted across it.
So my question is this to Hatfield. Hatfield, how good do you think you can set this place ablaze once we're already out of it?
I think I can probably manage it. Flesh pit's a bit wet. But
That is... All right, then. I mean, ultimate punishment, don't you think? They all go down in the flames. I wouldn't call anyone here innocent.
Technically there is a chemical that would make stomach acid explode, so I hadn't thought it on me, but
You
In the
know
future.
that's incredibly useful information to have right now, Rami. Thanks for sharing.
Right. Well, let's make our exit. Hatfield, you do what you do best.
You don't need help, do you?
Hatfield's still just twitching and just sort of gives Rami a look.
I'd say
However you want to
no.
interpret that look is entirely on you, but a look is given.
Acheron is going to find their exit and proceed out, not saying anything to anyone as they walk out, just continuing to wipe themselves off, just very casual, and let things, let the chips fall where they may.
You're able to find that the wall is easily able to slide open, just like a couple of doors on rollers. You walk back out into the club. People aren't noticing you. People don't care. It's been 10 minutes. They've moved on to the next thing. If you want to, you're easily able to just leave the club. You can pick up a snack as you go. Whatever you'd like. What's everyone else doing?
Mhm. Oh, just as a flavor, Acheron leaves smelling the rose.
Hatfield, your chief arsonist.
Yes. I think, I feel like before I actually set the place ablaze, are there any fire alarms?
No.
No fire alarms. Well, pity.
Abandoned building.
Had to check.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think I am going to take whatever remains of the clothes of the puddle of goo that was once promised. Sort of use them as kindling.
Yep.
Sort of dump it on the nearest flammable stuff. We'll probably yell fire as I am making my own exit to give the kind their best shot of escaping because, playing fair.
Mm-hmm.
But, no, we are dumping this pile of flaming fabric on the nearest flammable anything.
While Hetfield is doing that, would I be able to give a little check-in with the crowd and see if somebody's particularly on the brick of death at this moment, so I can satiate a little bit of my hunger before we leave?
You know what, Ardala?
Yeah?
It's Ardala. I think, with what you know, everyone in this club is on the verge of death. Really. If you want someone who is physically already on the way, there's that guy you fed from earlier.
Cool, I'll finish him off.
I'm not even going to make you roll for that.
Completely.
What would be the point of making you roll for that? You're able to just drain this pit. This
gonna
piece of shit. Fuck
Capri
it.
Sun
Or sucker.
his ass.
Because that's what he is, a piece of shit. You're able to drain him, no problem. You just leave the gutted corpse
Lashing some
sanguinated on the floor, and you may slake 5
Flammable.
hunger.
I'll sleep
Yeah,
all
I
night.
think in all that time, I think that Acheron will have pulled up the car in front of the building so that before the flames really catch, the others can just move on in and we fucking hit a Yui and head back down to the fucking main road. Hit a
Oh, yeah.
Yui. we
Splash a
can't
bunch
turn
of
in that
alcohol.
bitch.
Splashing alcohol around to make sure the place really catches, and then,
Yeah.
makes my escape smelling of whiskey and smoke.
Rami?
Oh, she would have gone out when Akron left, sorry.
No problem.
I was reading
No
about weird
problem.
chemicals. I'm sorry.
Yep, that's fine. Is that it? Yeah? Everyone happy to make their escape from the burning building, leaving hundreds of kind to be possibly burned alive? Maybe some will get
I
out.
did yell fire.
Look, I didn't start the fire. I
I
did nothing
half-assedly
wrong.
yelled there was a fire. I assisted by giving chemicals. Rami won
I did not
humanity stain
give-
for mass murder
No, I
assistance.
didn't
Hatfield.
give anyone anything.
did you not? Oh, did you not
No,
really?
I was
thought,
just pointing
okay.
it out.
In that case,
I would like
Hatfield.
to point out that
3
as a
humanity
judge,
stains.
I would.
Oh. Go ahead.
No, I would like to say to the crowd as I'm slowly making my way out after drinking and draining completely that guy. If you're smart, you're gonna make your way out of here right now. But I'm not making like a scene or anything. I'm just saying it as I leave.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Hatfield, that's going to mitigate your humanity down to 2 stains.
Okay. And I think it is fair to say that Hatfield is making a scene. Like,
Then that's going to mitigate
it's
that
very
once more
clear.
down to 1 stain. Because there's no
Okay,
way
I
out
think
of
it
these hundreds of people with 1 entrance, someone's going to die.
For sure. I think like I don't think it's like a subtle thing either of Hatfield like taking bottles of alcohol and like splashing it everywhere. Like,
And I mean, this is the place to do that. This is the place where it's like, this is not just Anarch territory. This is ministry place. This is like, fucking throw alcohol over the bar. Fucking throw people around the bar. That's what we're here for. That's what we love to see. You're getting rounds of applause for just grabbing these huge, expensive bottles of spirits and then just throwing them and smashing them on there. People are loving it. And then you just walk out of there. You're all reveling in this and you're like, bye, suckers. As Hatfield drops a lighter on the way out.
People are getting exploded around here. People are getting thrown into the flesh pit. Like, I'm at least warning them. I'm giving them a better shot than they might have had otherwise.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think once we're all in the car, I think Acheron says, starts driving. It says, it is interesting. Setites and Tremere working together. And apparently, someone of my clan helping.
That's what it looks like.
My question to the ST is, I'm aware that there is a Samitsi Anarch, right?
The Baron, yep.
Okay. My mind is on the Baron now.
Is aware of that. He
that's like public knowledge. Yeah, public knowledge. So I think that like Acheron has like puts a pin in that and is like understood, that it seems that they're all working together and there could be nothing like more shameful to Acheron than the idea of a Samitsi working with a Tremere in any capacity.
Seems like the scum of the earth joined in together to try to pull something off.
Not a fucking fan of that.
What was the goal with this? That's what I want to know.
Entertainment, debauchery, corruption.
So why did What's-His-Face get popped?
He was
probably
speaking.
Yep, he was talking.
Saying too much.
How does that power even work? Like, do you need to see them?
Well, it usually requires a touch.
Huh.
So, somebody followed the poor sucker home and poked him to death. Great.
Your blood sorcery, that particular ability, is it instantaneous or something that you can have a time delay on?
ST, just to make sure it's instantaneous, right?
Absolutely.
Like once you touch them. It is instantaneous. As soon as you touch them, you can activate it. And boil their blood from the inside out.
Well, I will say this. If there was someone still watching, it looked as though Banu Hakim just exploded this thin blood, possibly masking as satire. It's interesting. However, as far as I understand it, correct me if I'm wrong, Tremere have similar abilities that allow them to do this with sight alone.
Is that true, ST?
Yeah, I don't know if that's like. I think so.
I'm pretty sure the guy who boiled my blood in the weird dream thing didn't actually touch me to make that happen, but it was a weird dream thing. So what do I know?
And now you've all got me doubting it. Now I thought I knew the answer. I'm going to double check. Okay, yeah, physical touch is necessary.
Okay. So then I'm actually.
I believe the guy in the dream grappled you or something.
I thought so too.
Yeah, I thought he touched you as well.
It was a while ago.
The reason why I was thinking that sight is because Tremere do have an ability that they can set someone on fire. It's like a blood ritual they can do. They set someone on fire as long as they have line of sight.
Yeah, there's a couple of blood rituals where you use the blood of the victim.
That's really weird.
Right.
Rituals take time.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, rituals take time, exactly, Rami. And
yeah.
Cauldron of Blood isn't a ritual, it's instant.
Yeah.
It's an actual discipline.
Mm-hmm. Right, well, there's no one else in that room other than us. So... Correct. And I don't know any thin bloods that can do that to themselves without a bit of help from alchemy.
Just tell you, this whole mess has me feeling sick.
It's because you didn't get to punch and kill anybody.
Well, that fire certainly kill people.
Unfortunately.
This whole mess has me feeling sick.
Yes, there's a lot going here that is incredibly wrong.
I feel just like rubbing face with both hands, just sort of having a time.
Yeah. Let us have a talk and report back to your
Primogen?
Your Primogen, yes. Perhaps
I
that
would
be
think that is the best, and maybe he has some insight on the situation with the information that we could gather before it was taken from us from an identified source.
Rami.
Yeah, well...
Your friend
Mm-hmm.
brought us the initial information on this particular investigation. If I were you, I would perhaps warn him away.
Yeah, I'm going to contact him later. I have a couple things to warn him about.
If you would like, I can make him forget.
I don't think that's necessary currently. But I'll see what else he knows, if he's learned anything. I know he's not supposed to be investigating, but you know how detectives are.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right then. Let us go. And I will continue our way back to the Banu Hakim safe house. Or, their place of living.
Yep, it doesn't take you long to drive there. And you park up outside. Enter through the brightly lit reception area. The man behind the desk, obviously instantly recognizes Ardala, just bows his head as you all follow. Ardala leads you through the complex into the same meeting room you went a few weeks ago to meet Kulal before. As always, standing in the center of the auditorium, the spotlight just outside of the man's body is Kulal. Adara, I imagine that, without hesitation, you instantly approach, bow before the Primogen, touches you on your head.
I kiss his hand.
Rise, sister.
I rise.
You were tasked with keeping an eye on this coterie.
They have
Further
shown-
investigations.
They have shown capabilities. They have done everything I deemed necessary in the situations that we went through so far. We did discover some puzzling things during our investigation.
Puzzling? In what way?
It seems that the Tremere, Thin Blood, Setites, and possibly the Semisi, possibly the Baron, might be involved with each other in something.
An interesting turn of events, if so. Anarchs are usually no threat, unless they're united.
Exactly.
I believe this warrants further investigation. Do you concur?
I concur.
Do you trust this coterie well enough to make use of them for your investigation?
They have shown the resolve I would like to see in people helping.
Then I leave this with you and them.
I look at the group at the coterie, and would you like to add anything else which would contribute to this specific investigation, which I have not had the pleasure to be part of?
I think Acheron steps forward, and without mentioning the detective specifically, because he's not really relevant, it's more the information that he brought that's more relevant. And Acheron says, it came under our attention that there were 4 victims of spontaneous eruption. We had investigated the last victim's home where the scene occurred. We were able to deduce that some sort of blood sorcery was used in the matter. Through asking around, we were able to find our way to this particular Setite club called the Viper's Den. As there the events occurred in which Ardella was of great help to us. But this is not the first of spontaneous eruptions, which I think is important to note. I doubt it will be the last, as there seems to be an overwatcher of some kind that was able to do this while not being in the room. To within.
And that is how you suspect the involvement of the Baron or others?
No, well, the Baron is because we were dropped into a, for lack of a better word, a living stomach.
I'm sorry,
A room made of flesh walls with some sort of oozing acid from it.
And the remains of former victims.
I have heard such constructs exist, but never in this country. This is troublesome. What happened to it?
Well, we destroyed it. In fact, the entire building is now rubble.
Good. casualties?
Maybe some kind that weren't smart enough to leave the building in time. But none of those were worthy of staying alive. That's what they wanted. They wanted to suffer.
Perhaps
You
not
know.
worthy of staying alive, but still something to add to our long list of acts to judge. But that is not tonight. Tonight there are far more pressing matters.
Do you
You
want
have
to
done
offer?
well, and your leader has been kept safe. He is an interesting Cainite.
Yes, he is.
He shall be released before the end of the night. I trust you with Ardala, and I trust that Ardala will return safely to us.
One final thing that you might find interesting. Your initial request of us to investigate the lodge in particular apparently had connections to this Setite sort of outpost. The Thin Blood mentioned that someone of the lodge had sent them there, offering them safekeeping so long as they could play a part. They played the part of a Setite named Promise. Promise never existed, it was simply a mask. What they were doing in corralling these wayward kind, I'm not positive, probably some corruption-based nonsense that Setites get up to, but it is all very much connected. So those that went missing for you were likely made to disappear in places like the Viper's Den.
Setites came to this city 2 years ago. No one knew. No one said anything. And the cancer was allowed to infest it. Now it is spreading. It needs to be excised. That is not necessarily your task. But it is another task in what seems to be an unending list against these anarchs. I truly hope they are not uniting, as that would be problematic. The Camarilla's greatest strength is its unity. Single-minded purpose, one vision, one direction. Anarchs. Too many voices. Dissent is rife. Ardala, I trust that you will see this through fully with the Coterie, and that you will not allow them to stray.
Absolutely. You can trust me.
Of course, sister. We give you our sister as a show of trust. We release your leader to show that our deal will be honored. You will treat us with exactly the same respect, or you will feel the full wrath of the Banu Hakim.
Akron inclines their head, a little bow.
Good night.
And we leave.
I'll lead them out
Yep.
through the same way I led them in.
Yep, no problem. And you'll reach the safety of the vehicle again. Ignite the engine. I would imagine morning is swiftly approaching, but there is still enough time for you to make your way back to the Haven, have a conversation. What would you like to do or talk about?
Akron says to the group as they drive, I think we should operate under the assumption that the Anarchs are indeed aligning. They are indeed coming together. It's simply safer that way. Anarchs are dangerous for this very reason. When they manage to come together with a singular goal, they are very capable of showing great strength.
It's not impossible, but I'll say it don't feel too likely. You put 3 anarchs in a room and you get 12 opinions.
The problem is, if the Baron is involved. I have a question really quick, ST. Do I know, because just having lived in Oxford for as long as I have, the Baron, does the age match the ability that I witnessed in that stomach?
No.
No. And would I have the knowledge that, like...
Oh, hang on.
Would it be possible?
Well, I mean, it wouldn't... From what you know of the Baron, it doesn't
Right.
match.
Okay. However, I am aware that there are other ways in which someone who is not the correct age would be able to do that.
And there's also something to be said about just given the right amount of time to craft. You know, if someone has the skill innately anyway, it could just be a matter of time to craft something.
Okay. So I say, if the Baron is indeed involved, that is a leg up that the Anarchs have that only... It wouldn't need even to be all the Anarchs aligned, just a small group, and they could be a force of nature. The Baron is an issue. He's been given enough time, and who knows how many of those kinds of stomachs exist about the city.
We did the right thing burning it, yeah?
Yeah,
Oh, yes.
absolutely.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Had it been left there, who knows what it would have become next.
Yeah. That's
Or
what I
just
was
that-
thinking.
I mean, not just that we can't tell Slip, and then Pandora finds out that we didn't do anything about it, and then we all get into trouble, and...
Yeah, just, I don't know, just making sure.
It's a
Oh,
good
no.
thing.
You did the right thing. You can't allow something like that to fester.
Yeah.
I imagine that there may be some sort of guilt you may feel, Hatfield, for the amount of life that may or may not have been lost.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I will say that likely those within were too far gone already. There is a magic to what Setite can do.
Were all of them in gold, or is it
I
something
don't know
else?
that. I don't know that all of them were Gould, but you tell a person, mortal or otherwise, to be their true selves and that there will be no punishment for it. Anyone who remains long enough.
I mean, nobody
addictions fall.
blinked when somebody got exploded. It was only a matter of time, one way or the other, wasn't it?
I agree.
You did the right thing. In fact, I would say probably the merciful thing. Who knows what else they would have endured had you left them alive? That stomach wasn't there empty. Clearly things were being fed to it.
I'll tell you, that's what was in my head, but it's good to hear somebody else say it.
Mm-hmm.
There were definitely remains inside of that abomination.
I mean, really, it was beautiful work. It takes a lot of skill to be able to create something like that. Age and power, time.
Yeah. It's gross is what it is.
Sure, it is still an abomination.
To each its own.
I mean, just squishy.
To each its own.
Ugh.
Regardless, what I'm saying is that this is an example of power.
Oh, that is absolutely true. I mean, making a whole room made of flesh must have
You
taken
know.
a lot of power and time, or both.
And a lot of flesh.
There
Correct.
are stories of whole entire temples made of flesh. Enough time, and a Samiti could make just about anything out of flesh.
Well,
So,
what's
You
the
know, I'd
purpose?
ask why, but I can see on your
Yeah.
face that there's no point in that question.
for the love of it, for art.
Yeah,
you
no,
know.
I
Of
knew that
course,
would be the answer. I knew that would be the answer.
to be fair, right? It's not all just art and you know.
Mhm.
A lot of times it's very practical, usually for war purposes, but well, actually, war purposes. If the Anarchs are coming together and they have this clearly powerful Samiti with them, it could be preparation for war.
Shiv, ST question. Would I know if that is really the only Sinisi aside from Acheron that we know of in the domain?
It's an extremely strong possibility simply because of Mithras ruling the UK for so long and successfully repelling the Sabbat. The Tzimisce were very, very few and far between. So they are exceedingly rare. It would be the exception to the rule of Earth Third. Tzimisce, where the fuck are you guys coming from?
No, that's exactly why I asked, because it would be such a rarity that we probably would know if there are more.
Exactly. I mean, there's always rumors. You know.
Right.
Not to mention if somebody has the time, power, and resource to cobble together an entire flesh stomach thing beneath the club, they probably also have the resources in which to hide themselves, like...
I will say, like, you can see on Acheron's face, like, they're not trying to hide this. You can see, like, as we're having this discussion, that, like, Acheron is, like, going through the entire knowledge they have of the time they've been alive, both mortal and as a kindred, and is, like, trying to sort of almost like mentally look through records of Tzimisce that would be in the UK because they know it is so rare. Like, the fact that both the Baron and Acheron exist in the same city at the same time is like a feat within itself, because of that rarity. So yeah, like, just going through, like, the mental notes of, like, did any of us sneak in? And it's very rare for Tzimisce to not, because of them being an old clan, to not, like, at least be aware of each other.
Exactly. I mean,
you know, even if it's a matter of
Tzimisce
keeping secrets, they
introduce each other. It's their culture is to actually introduce to each other, no matter what.
Right.
And you know,
like, rules
it's
of
been a
hospitality
very
are a
long
real
time
thing.
since you've met another Tzimisce.
Yeah.
It's been a very long time, and it might have been in the UK, might not have been. It was so long ago, you don't see the connection.
Yeah. So it's definitely like a thing of, like, this is like an impossibility for there to be another one of us. Like, it should just be, you know. Yeah. So you would probably just see it written on Acheron's face of, like, no, there's no way.
Well, then, obviously, We have one possibility out, so we need to perhaps have a chat.
Baron. Well, we will have to abide by some traditions of my clan, if that is the case. Rules of hearth and home. You don't just walk into a Samiti's place of residence without there being a consequence. That really, let's just say, a stomach pit is the least of your worries at that point. So if we can all,
There's always another game to play. Yeah.
if we can play the game, perhaps we can get some answers.
Exhausting.
But necessary if you want to continue to live this unlife.
I mean, I
Is there-
didn't say I wasn't willing to do it. I just said it's this. Exhausting.
Is there another path that you perhaps see us
Well-
walking first before playing your clan's games?
Well, Setites, while they are one to play games, are a messy clan, so they'll leave a lot of evidence behind. Tremere. Now, here's the interesting thing about Tremere. Our haven, which we are coming upon now, was formerly owned by Tremere. They all were cleared out by your clan. Except then we found out that they were living in a strange in-between space, and due to some untimely, unwise blood ritual-like movements, one of them popped out, a Primogen, who is now asking for his home back from the tower. So, single Tremere, and possibly others we don't know about, because Tremere are sneaky little bastards like that. All the Setites will leave behind evidence and are messy.
Tremere's sleeping in the walls. Sounds about right.
Yeah, basically.
Apparently, the majority of them are still over there. It's just the one.
Yo, Acheron, this is, it's a bit of a stupid question, but I gotta ask it anyway. But, is your clan the only ones who do the thing with the flesh and making stomachs?
Oh, yes.
Okay, and there's no way anybody else could have, like, I don't know, figured it out?
I was gonna say.
Oh, well, of course. Yes, but that is a trial. Learning things that are not of your clan is not as simple as here's a fucking instruction manual and you'll figure it out. There's a lot required and a lot of time, and usually a lot of power required by the individual themselves. Blood exchange, resonance, all of that.
As I said, it's a bit of a stupid question, and I recognize that, but just thinking about, suspects here.
No, it's not at all a stupid question. Things are not as they naturally are among kindred at this moment. There have been a lot of things that have been askew, so it really always good to look outside of the box. Have your options open of what you might find. But again, it is very rare. Samiti are the only one who can fleshcraft, but should someone outside of the clan be taught, would have to be extenuating circumstances. These are not secrets the Samiti would give up quite easily.
Yeah, no, just wanted to, put it out there, make sure that it was dismissed thoughtfully rather than just passively assumed, and Yeah,
no, I'm happy to answer. Well, we're here. If you'd like to join us, we do have an extra space for you. I don't.
There are also kind here as well. Don't worry about them, and don't open the doors.
Oh, I would let you know. Like, as we're walking out of the car and letting Ardella know this, you should know, don't bite them. they're infected with the blood plague. We have them here in order to study them because, in truth, that is what our main mission is, to discover what's happening with the blood plague and how to potentially find a cure for it. So don't be upset about the kindred in the basement. I'm sorry, the kind in the basement.
Sounds good. It is none of my business.
Just
Just
figured
ignore
you'd
our
know if you're
kidnapped
wondering.
victims. Okay.
We didn't kidnap them.
Fair enough.
Barry kidnapped them.
Right, we're just helping them.
I'm
Anyway,
not getting
I
paid
mean-
for this, so I don't care enough.
That's
so
valid.
we
That is so
we
valid.
lead our gala in. We lead our gala in. She is shown a room, and we chill.
Sure.
I'm sure she could hear weird sounds coming from the basement from these
From
guys.
ourselves, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, shut
I
up.
mean, I think you probably see Acheron like cooking some food at one point and like brings down plates for them to eat.
Human
being very well
food,
taken
yeah,
care
yeah. Baked beans and ice cream. This is what they eat, right?
No,
The
Acheron
ice cream's been microwaved and the baked beans are frozen. This was the right way,
See,
yeah?
I was picturing the ice cream like scooped out on the plate like mashed potatoes with the little holes pushed into the ice cream and the baked beans in it like gravy.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. Acheron remembers what mortals eat. Like she has ghouls.
And
So
on that
yeah,
note,
well,
we will bring close to this week's Ashes. Thank you all for coming and watching. Thank you all for coming and playing. This week, we will go in order of most likely to cut their sandwiches diagonally, starting with Darla. Who are you? What do you do? Do you do things? Let's find out.
Always cut my sandwiches diagonally. I was like, who cuts it right in the middle? Like, because I'm gonna bring judgment upon them right now.
yeah, no, I don't know.
See, the
I
only
don't
sandwich
know.
that
I don't know what
you should
happened.
cut in half would be grilled cheese because it makes sense. Everything else diagonally.
No,
Anyway,
grilled cheese off.
discussion for another day.
That's a discussion for another day. We're not getting into it right now.
I'm so sorry.
Sure.
But hello, everybody. I'm Phoenicia Starlight. I am a variety streamer here on Twitch. I do a lot of tabletop RPG stuff. As you can tell, I try to put my foot in any game that wants to have me at a certain point. So yeah, if
Yes.
you want to come and hang out, I am sporadically streaming right now because my life has been a little bit crazy. But when I'm around, we're chilling, we're, playing video games or doing some more of this. So, yeah.
Rami, who are you? What do you do? Do you do things? Let's find out.
Hi. I'm still very, I feel very judged about the grilled cheese comment. Anyway, I am a variety streamer on Twitch. I'm a frog VTuber, and I talk about frogs a lot. I also play a lot of oh my god, RPGs. Forgot the term for a second. RPGs, horror games. Playing a lot of Diablo, and we're getting back into like mystery detective games, like the Zero Escape series, which is one of my favorite game series. If you ever played it. But I stream Sunday to Thursday, and then I'm here Fridays. That's it. And I like grilled cheese.
Rami equals
No,
frog.
that's it.
Yeah, I'm a frog.
Acheron, who are you? What do you do? Do you do things? Let's find out.
Yeah, I do. I do this thing. I play TTRPGs. You can find me here on Mondays. Normally, June is our break time. Mondays for Shadowrun, where I play Morningstar, the cybernetic snake lady, and then obviously here on Fridays, playing your favorite Samitsi. And then I am also a part of Lanyap Gaming, which right now we are on a content break, but we will be back soon, so don't even worry about it. Probably a little bit after Gen Con is when you'll start seeing our stuff again. So go follow us on the things if you want to keep up with that. You can also follow me at the Risa Rave on literally everywhere on the internet. My links will be in the chat, so you can check that out. I also have spicy links if you're into that sort of thing, but please be respectful or else. And that's it.
Hatfield, who are you? What do you do? Do you do things? Let's find out.
Honestly, it's a rare day I even bother to make a sandwich, much less cut the sandwich. Like, that's so much work. I'm just gonna shove the stuff in my face, okay? Anyway.
Valid.
Hi,
Fair.
I'm
So
Daybreak.
valid. So valid right now.
I'm just here
I'm
like, yep,
Daybreak-a-thon.
I was right.
Yeah, you were right. You were right. You were right, and you know it. I'm Daybreak-a-thon. You can find me streaming nonsense over on my channel, Daybreak-a-thon. I stream as often as I can. Lately, it's been a lot of Project Zomboid, to nobody's surprise. I've been setting a lot of fires there. Recently died in one great time.
Second
Aside
time I
from
ever
that-
tried to play Project Zomboid, the person running the server was saying, you know, I'm going to close the server down, do it if you want. I said, can I burn a church? She's like, well, in theory. And that was, that is my ambition in Project Zomboid, is to burn a church.
Oh yeah, I've done that. Good times. But you can find me doing arson and Project Zomboid on my channel, Daybreak-a-thon, on most days. I try to stream as often as I can. I also do the character art for the characters who have art, which in this case is me, and my commissions are open if you'd like me to do some art for you as well. Aside from that, I have written a couple of fantasy novels. You should definitely check those out by clicking on the links that say book things. I worked very hard on them, and I think they are a very good time. Hoping to get the third one out sooner or later. And with all that said, my dog says hi. Oh, also Mojave in the Shadowrun times in my Hatfield right now. But you knew that already.
On Monday, you can see both me and Day playing characters in Shadowrun. Also, hi, Peppers.
If my dog is here, he says hello. He was very disappointed because I accidentally shut him out of the room for a large part of this game, and he is being very needy now.
Oh, my sweet baby.
Check out links in chat down below for links to Twitter, Discord, audio-only versions of most of our games, YouTube archive, and merchandise. Apparently, I've been messing around in the merch store. That's up on there. We will go raiding over on to K-Night Chronicles, who are, strangely enough, with a name like that, playing Vampire the Masquerade. But of course, legally, morally, objectively, we can't go until Hatfield says the line.
I'm gonna burn it all.